news when it comes to video game news, and also Texas.
Well, thank God on the Texas front. Though.
Yes.
Holy shit.
Yes. I'm trying to enjoy the mugginess after like 4 straight months of just like it's like having a laser shot at you all the time going outside when it was dry and 110 every day.
And a lot of our areas are asphalt, so it just absorbed heat and threw it back at us.
Yeah. I'm like, at least if you fall down on the ground, you won't burn yourself.
Which is
like in Arizona.
You can make eggs in Arizona, and same with Nevada. You can cook cookies in your car.
Anyway, let's not focus too much on the existential crises
that's fine.
that face us as human beings on a planet that gets changes from day to day.
Look, the world can end, but as long as I get my games, I'm cool.
That's right. Hey man, Mortal Kombat's coming out. I don't have time for any of this bullshit.
Let the trilogy of the Spider-Man games end before the world ends. Is all I'm saying.
Can I see Death Stranding 2 before I die? That's really all I care about.
I just need more Metal Gear. Whatever I need.
Welcome back, everybody, to the RageSelect podcast. Here at RageSelect, I'm Jeff. This is one of the weirder places to go in an intro.
I gotta wait for that Superman movie between
Ooh, yeah. You guys are gonna hear that and then just like gonna go back and then the podcast got taken down and put back up again with like,
if
hello.
Fry has taught us anything, thanks to denial, I'm immortal.
Right, exactly. Yeah, last week I was struggling with a bunch of bullshit. This week, fucking Nintendo Direct, Sony State of Play, and also everything else happened at the same time.
Yeah, I picked an interesting time to not be on the podcast.
Yes,
last time, and now I got back to all of the things again.
Yes. So we have got a fucking hunk of burning news.
That's a lot.
Just waiting over here. But before we get to that, Michael, have you seen anything? Have you played anything? Have you done anything worth mentioning?
I watched all of season 1 of Tiny Toons Luniversity.
Oh my god. You just come in here with these fucking weird cartoons that nobody else is watching.
Well, I didn't know it was out. I was fucking around on HBO Max, and I
Max, please, just Max,
yes,
please,
just Max, and I
X.com and Max. Okay,
and it popped up on my recommended. It's like you like Looney Tunes. Why don't you watch the Tiny Toons? And apparently it came out that same day.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'll just put on an episode and see how it is. I ended up plowing through that whole season.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I really like this because it reminds me of the way the Looney Tunes show was, which is that sitcom type version of the Looney Tunes.
This is the one where Bugs and Daffy were like roommates in the suburbs.
That's like that was just like, well, let's make a sitcom out of the Looney Tunes.
Right.
And I had a lot of fun with that. And so they kind of did the same thing with the Tiny Toons. So it's like it's mostly about the core like group, which is just Buster, Babs, Sweetie, which is the bird, Plucky Duck, and Hampton the pig. But they all have like very different personalities than they did in the original one. Whereas like Plucky is closer to the way like snobby snobby Daffy Duck is nowadays, kind of thing.
Okay.
Instead of like the wackier version he was at the time. And Hampton is even more subdued than before, and he's also like into medicine. And then they made Sweetie like a punk rock person instead of like just like a Tweety bird that's purple.
For the TikToks.
But the weirdest change is they made Buster and Babs siblings now,
right?
Instead of the no relation joke, which is the whole fact that they both had the last name Bunny, but they weren't related to each other.
Right.
But now they're like, fuck it, complete opposite direction.
Yeah.
Now they're super related to the point where they're like the twins from Gravity Falls. They're like, we do everything together kind of thing.
Okay.
And I was like, this is weird, but I'll go along with it. And it's been a fun enough time. They got Jeff Bergman to be Bugs Bunny again as well, because Buster's played by the newer Bugs Bunny, which is Eric Bauza, so it's kind of meta of the older Bugs Bunny teaching the younger Bugs Bunny in that kind of way. And it's a fun enough time. Like I had plenty of fun with it because it has a lot of sitcom type setups, as well as also just being batshit fucking insane.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of jokes that are just like thrown at you a mile a minute, and some of them will hit and some of them won't. And some of them will catch you completely off guard like it did me. And I honestly recommend it if you just like weird, wacky shit.
Okay.
Personally. And also the Harley Quinn season ended as well, so I saw that too.
Cool.
But we'll worry about that later.
I watched a bunch of movies that were just okay. I did though. There was one that I was talking to you about before. I watched that Talk to Me movie with the They got like a hand,
the
and
horror
the
thing,
lady like you grab the hand and you say like talk to me, and then like a spirit shows up, and then if you say like I let you in, then it like goes into your body for like 90 seconds, and apparently like you get really high. Like the characters, their eyes turn black, and then they turn into that spirit. The spirits do all this fucked up shit, and they say all kinds of horrible stuff, and then they like blow out the candle after 90 seconds, and then the spirit goes away, and then they get out of that. They're like, dude, that ruled. That was awesome. And I'm just like, what?
Actually, that makes sense to me, because if TikTok has taught me anything, it's like kids will do
really
whatever
stupid.
the fuck it is.
Well, the best part
as long as it's recordable.
The best part about that movie is every time anybody does it, everybody pulls out their phone and points it at them.
Exactly what I mean.
The problem is that like I didn't.
It'll be the talk to me challenge.
I thought it was like okay, but then the more I thought about it, like there's some fucked up shit that happens halfway through the movie, and unfortunately the movie does a thing that I fucking hate when horror movies do, and that is like, here's a bunch of teens that are trying to figure out how to deal with something that is way above their pay grade, and all they'd have to do is tell an adult. Like, actually, this movie contains one of the cooler adults that I've seen in a horror movie that has like teenagers and is trying not to breathe down their necks and like let them become people, and I'm just like, after all the fucked up shit happens, I'm like, get the mom to grab the hand and look at the evil spirits. She'll quit freaking the fuck out. Like, why don't you guys, it would be like, okay, I've had this thing for a long time. I've said it before, and I'm going to say it again. You know the movie It Follows, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know how the thing that follows in It Follows has physicality, right? It can fall into a pool, it can knock stuff over, like it exists in the world, right? So like, what the fuck is keeping these kids from going and getting a cop and being like, hey man, I'm really in trouble. Okay, now watch this. And pulling out a can of spray paint and then spray painting It Follows so that there's like a bunch of spray paint walking down the street and being like, I need you to take care of whatever this is. It's following me. Or like, why don't the teenagers in Nightmare on Elm Street ever like get a parent to watch them sleep? Like, some parent has to be like not shitty enough that a child would be like, hey, all my friends are dying, could you please watch me when I'm asleep, and if I fly up onto the ceiling, like wake me up before I turn into a fucking blood geyser. And I know that part of this is like that cinema sins, like they have to be really stupid or else the movie wouldn't happen.
Yeah,
but
the Nightmare on Elm Street one, I always thought myself, to be honest, but the rules on that was always wacky.
Yeah, or like you know what I really liked is it's a terrible movie, but there's that one Friday the 13th movie where the lady's running through the woods and Jason's chasing her, and then she runs into a clearing and the fucking spotlights come on and a whole SWAT team comes out and guns Jason to the ground. And I'm like, yes, thank you. Like,
I love endings like that. Like, I know when Jurassic Park 3 ends, that just all the fucking Marines show up.
Right.
They're like, yeah, if the dinosaurs show up, we're just gonna light it the fuck up.
Yeah. So I watched this movie and I didn't think that there was enough supernatural stuff. I'm sure that I'm missing it, like I did with the Babadook, and it's all just like a metaphor for being a teenager or some bullshit.
For not talking to your parents, Jeff.
For not talking to your parents, or being a teenager, or grief, or I don't know. But I sometimes feel like some of these movies, like, you know, you remember, were you here when I bitched about Smile for 20 minutes?
No,
when I was
actually, I don't remember if I was or not. When I was like, I know you bitched to me at some point, but I don't know if it was on mic or not.
Yeah, but it was like, well, Smile is obviously a metaphor about like, you know, like pretending that you're okay when you're really not, and kind of putting on this false front, and like what that does to you psychologically, and blah blah blah. But the movie was too stupid to do anything with that. Like, it was
a great marketing campaign, though.
Too stupid to make that point, to make any point. So it ended up just being like, the Smile monster is after you. Oh no! And here it was like, you got to keep grabbing his hand and being stupid and like not listening to anybody. Don't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody. Obviously, don't tell anybody.
Which is strange for a movie called Talk to Me.
Right. So yeah, the more I thought about it, the more I was like, because when I got done watching it, I was like, that was okay. And then the more I thought about it, the more I was like, no, it wasn't. I didn't like that.
That's a shame. I heard people really like that one. I wasn't gonna watch it.
I'm sure
people liked it.
Somebody's gonna be in the comments to tell me why I'm wrong. I have a really high bar for horror movies, because I'm not just like one of those, I'll watch whatever horror movie.
That's fair. Yeah.
So like, if a horror movie comes out and I watch it and I can go like, wait a minute, why are you doing it like that? That's stupid. Like,
don't do that.
Why are you being stupid? Don't be stupid. Like,
You become too old for the teenagers in horror movies, Jeff.
That's the other problem.
That's
is
the
that
other
like
part.
if you have to keep making your horror movies about teenagers because any adult would be too smart for your fucking monster, I get less and less interested. That is why I liked the Babadook so much, is because it was about a fucking adult, like an adult with problems, like dealing with this weird shit that was happening.
Did you like Hereditary as well?
No, but I figured out why. Like I've actually, the Ari Aster stuff I'm kind of half and half with. I know because I've listened to a lot of podcasts with people talking about Hereditary. I've talked with a lot of people who really like Hereditary. And the thing is that Hereditary is about like a fucked up family in a way that a lot of people have had that same experience of this kind of disjointed, disconnected, fucked up family. I did not have that fucked up family. So like, I don't tie as hard to Hereditary is also a movie where it's like, yeah, you know, at 29:37, if you look in the background in the shadows, you can see there's actually a person standing back there. And I was like, well, I was watching fucking Gabriel Byrne act his ass off, not like looking I wasn't distracted by darkness and going like, hold on, everybody, hold on, theater, pause the movie for a second and turn on the lights. I gotta look at the background of this thing.
Multiple watches or whatever, Jeff.
Yeah, the same way that Midsommar has like, there's like
I never saw Midsommar.
Faces. Like if you look in the trees, there's like parts where like the trees behind them, there's like subtle faces of people like digitally inserted into like the background and stuff. And I was
weird.
like, I didn't see that. Also, that movie was definitely about being in a really shitty relationship. I don't have that problem. If you want to make a horror movie about not being in relationships and being sad about it, I will watch that and identify with it greatly. But
That's fair. That's fair. I'll give you that.
So I don't know. I'm sure that it's fine. I'm sure that it's fine. will say that after going to the gathering last week, I watched the last 40 minutes of Malignant when I came home, and I was like, yeah, this is dumb, and I love it. Like, fucking turns around backwards and kills everybody, and I'm just like, this is so stupid. I fucking love it. What's the best horror movie that's come out this year? Has there been a really good one this year?
For me, I think it's, did Evil Dead Rise come out this year? That's my favorite.
Yeah. I like that one.
That's my favorite of this year so far.
Yeah, let's see, 2023. We should not be doing this. We should be fucking starting.
I was about to say, I thought we were going to go into the news now.
Movies.
But...
No. Resident Evil Death Island. See, I don't even know if I count.
You watched it.
Renfield as a horror movie.
It's about 50/50.
Cocaine Shark. That horrible Winnie the Bird Box sequel.
Bo is Afraid is considered a horror movie?
Adam Driver 65. No, I haven't watched any horror movies this year. What is this called? Asinine? Asvins?
Never heard of it.
No, don't know. Thing. No idea. The Wrath of Becky. What is this? What is this list, Google?
Oh, Knock at the Cabin. That was this year.
Oh, I hated that movie. God, I hated that movie.
I heard a lot of people were mixed on it.
Evil Dead Rise. Go watch Evil DeadRise.
You should. Go watch Evil Dead Rise.
All right. Speaking of watching stuff, let's watch this Nintendo Direct. This was like,
how long was that intro, by the way?
15 minutes.
Okay, that's not too bad.
This is what I was trying to cut it off around 15 minutes. I try to let us go much more than that. So, right. I think that like some of these are very like rote, and some of these announcements are going to be very just kind of like glossed over.
Yeah. Like I don't care about Splatoon.
Yeah. Splatoon 3 is getting a second DLC pack. I will say that this continues. I don't know what it is about the Splatoon team, Michael, that like they desperately want a single player component to Splatoon. And it's never been any good. It wasn't any good in Splatoon 2 DLC. It wasn't any good when Splatoon 3 came out. And now they're trying it again with this thing. It's got a kind of an interesting thing where you like the world is very kind of monochromatic. And then like you get colors and you equip like different colors that like give you different bonuses. Like you get little Pantones that you put in this little fucking mixing board and you get different powers from it. Like
I really want to set up this world for some reason.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be like a post-apocalyptic world where all the squids turn into kids.
I don't know.
And all the octopuses also maybe. I don't know. It's fucking weird as shit.
It is weird. I don't know. This is the second DLC. I can't say whether
they
like
really want you to take it seriously.
It's part of the expansion pass.
I forget the name of it. There was a specific side order?
Yeah, Side Order was the name of it. Yeah, it's... I don't know. It's weird. It's coming out spring of next year. Whatever. Let's see. From there, I this is weird. Mario versus Donkey Kong.
So this actually was
a
excited
DS
about.
game or
It was
a
a Game Boy
GBA?
Advance game.
Okay.
I owned it at one point. And
Yeah.
I was a big fan of it because it was actually a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the only one of that series I liked because it was the only one that you actually walk around as Mario in.
Right.
Because the rest of them were like were turned into like Lemmings games.
It was like the Rise of the Minis, right, or whatever that was.
Yeah, that was the DS one.
Whereas this is more like a puzzle game.
Yeah.
Like a platforming puzzle game.
Yeah, the idea is that you need to get all the minis, mini Mario toys in the level, as well as like you can get like extras like those presents and stuff.
Yeah.
And then you just have to leave the level with the key. And so yeah, it's just a puzzle game, but it's like a fun little puzzle game with Mario, and then you fight Donkey Kong once you collect all the minis for that specific like I'm gonna call it world because it's not really like it doesn't work the way a world does, where it's just like here's a series of levels, you beat this section, now fight Donkey Kong, and then so forth and so forth. And I was a big fan of it, and it was the first time Pauline got her current design.
Oh.
And it's because I think, as far as I know, it was. There probably was one before that, but it was the only one of those I liked because it was the only one, again, like you use Mario. So I was very excited that that's what they were doing.
It's a little weird to me though that they're even showing this when Mario Wonder isn't out yet. Considering I know that they're not exactly the same, but they are 2D. They are 2D Mario games, right?
This is a remake. Is the other thing. So
yeah,
and that seems to be the theme of this one when it comes to Mario stuff.
Yeah,
for some of them at least.
I'm starting to get a little tired of some of the remake stuff that Nintendo's doing, where it's like
it's really strange.
I get it, and it's good that we have like game preservation in that way, where there are versions of stuff that you can play, so that things aren't lost to time. But by the same token, I really like Nintendo as a developer, and so I really wish that they would do more. More original stuff because I like the original stuff as long as it's not Splatoon.
Like I would have been cool if this was like a sequel where it used the same concept.
Yeah.
Because that was the only Mario vs. Donkey Kong I liked, and they made like 3 or 4 after that.
Right.
And all of those I hated because they're all Lemmings games, basically.
Yeah. And that's February 16th. Let's see. From there, they showed Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, which I still think looks like one of the best things that Ubisoft has done in a long, long time.
I think it's the only thing they have money to release nowadays.
What's that?
It might be the only other thing they have money to release nowadays.
Oh, yeah.
Assassin's Creed.
Yeah. Yeah, not much more to say here. I mean, very
not
similar.
Much more that we haven't already said.
Yeah,
it's just the same game on Nintendo.
Looks like a really good 2D, kind of side scrolling Metroidvania type of thing.
Also, if this was captured on the Switch, it looks like it runs well on the Switch.
Yep. As well, it should. Like, it's not doing anything that should tax the Switch.
Yeah, but we've seen that in the past where it's like, here's the Switch game,
right?
And it like runs like shit, and they're like, isn't it exciting? I'm like, this is what you showed us.
Yeah. Let's see. I don't know how this Horizon Chase 2 game got put in here. This is like a phone game, man. Like, it's some kind of bullshit racing game, and it looks exactly like something that you would get with your cell phone pre-installed.
Pretty much.
Like, just an arcade racer, very cartoony, very like... again, as you said, it doesn't even run like super, super duper well.
No.
I don't know how this got a slot. I don't know how this got the fourth slot in this Nintendo Direct, but like
it does go by quick though.
Okay. Crazy Rhythm Castle is a Konami game?
Apparently.
That's like some kind of weird, like, it looks like a Mario Party game, sort of, where you're doing like a bunch of little, like, the whole point of it is that a lot of tasks are done by doing rhythm games, like by basically completing kind of Guitar Hero looking stuff. Yeah. But the whole thing is very weird looking and off-putting to me for some reason. I don't know what it is. Like,
I don't know either. Like, I get what you mean, but I don't know.
It's just like, I don't know. It's so very cluttered. It also is very possible. Like, I don't know about you, but anytime, like, I haven't gone back to Hi-Fi Rush, and a lot of it is because, like, rhythm games, I'm bad at them. I can never, like, get that rhythm part. Just like, people are like, it's just like tapping your foot. I'm like, I don't do that. When I tap my foot, I think foot, engage, tap, and then my foot will tap. Like, yeah,
because I've tried where it's like, well, you just feel the rhythm, and I've done that with just listening to music, and I'm like, oh, I am way off.
Right.
Like, I'm not even close to the rhythm.
Yeah. I'm a drummer. I spent a long time, like, making sure that my feet do not involuntarily tap because they need to do specific things. So anytime there's a game that has these rhythm-based components, I always get a little, like, gun shy about it because
that's the same reason I didn't finish Firefly Rush either. Because like you get bonus damage. I'm like, I'm not killing anything nearly as fast as I should be.
Yeah. So, and then also just I don't know, like the weird kind of any game that has this weird like tilted like a 2D plane tilted 90 degrees, like you're looking at like a diamond. Like I don't like that very much. Like that might also be why it's kind of off-putting, because the characters don't line up to that. Like they're facing forward, like 3/4 forward. Anyway, fucking whatever.
No.
Not a big fan. Spy Family.
Yeah.
There's a Spy Family game.
It's all about Anya.
Yep. It's all about Anya. I like Anya. I like the other parts of Spy Family more than like Anya Forger. She's pretty adorable. I don't know. It's like, oh, it's summer memories, so we're gonna go take pictures and do mini games and have summer adventures.
It's all the non-exciting parts of Spy Family, which I think is really funny, to be honest. That's not about Spy Cross Family.
Did you know that I've found this out and I've been keeping it a secret, so I'm not sure if everybody knows. Did you know that they made a full-on golf game out of that lesbian golf anime that I like?
Really?
It's on the Switch, the Birdie Wing story. There's like a full golf game on there with those characters. It looks like shit, like absolute dick.
Yeah, anime games don't always get the best polish.
This at least looks very well produced.
Really well made, actually.
Yeah,
like everyone looks exactly the way they should.
Yeah,
there's a lot of animations for like her movements and stuff,
and she looks pretty good in 3D. Like they've gotten so much better at making 2D characters look good in 3D.
They all look amazing in this 3D model stuff.
I like the fact that there's an implication here that you could choose what hat is on Bond, the dog, and I like that because he's awesome and excellent.
It's such an interesting idea for a game.
The strangest part of this entire trailer is that I didn't see a single thing in it where Anya Forger is reading somebody's mind, which is like the thing she does.
They mention it, but she never does anything like it.
Yeah. I don't know.
Maybe the card game part? I don't know. That's strange.
We'll see. Did they have a release date for that?
I think they just said a specific time.
Sometime in 2024. Yeah. We got some more Super Mario RPG.
I'm excited for this
information.
I never finished the original one.
The big thing that they talked about I thought was interesting was now when you do like a perfect attack, you can damage all the enemies. Like they're making it even easier than it was before.
I'm cool with this.
And then there's some kind of little meter buildup that you can do to get like a big super attack. I don't know if that was in the original. I never played the original, so I wouldn't know.
I can't remember because it's been a long time because I played the original on the actual Super Nintendo.
Yeah,
like so long ago. I didn't even do a ROM version of it because it was one of those games that was harder to do ROMs with at one point. So that's why it was such a rare game to buy. Yeah, because once they made them all, like Square and Nintendo are like, it doesn't exist, and they just didn't talk about it until the Wii came out. Right. And then eventually, it came out then, and then now you couldn't get it anymore after that.
They talk about how once you beat the game, you can go back and replay the bosses on like harder difficulties, basically. Like you can go back and redo boss challenges and stuff. I mean, I don't know. It all looks like. I have a hard time evaluating this because, like I said, I have no frame of reference. It looks good, but
it looks fantastic. A lot of the RPG elements that the Mario Luigi stuff had owes its life to this game, as well as just like some of the other weirder RPG elements that Square kept with it.
Yep. This is November 17th. Another Code, Recollections is a DS game that is getting remade for the Switch.
Yeah, which was interesting because they're like, this never came to America originally.
No, the first one did. There's 2 games in this collection. The first one was a DS game that did come to America. The second one was a Wii game that did not come to America. Okay. But like, the whole thing looks like what? It's like your moody anime girl that goes to an island and has to solve like a bunch of puzzles.
Yeah, because her like dad, who she thought was dead for 20 years or something, randomly sent her a message. Right. And she's like, oh, I guess he's alive, ? On this island? And so she's trying to figure out what's going on with that.
So if you ever wanted to play Resident Evil, but without all that shooting or gore or guts or Umbrella or Wesker, there is a ghost kid, though. Some kind of ghost kid thing going on.
A ghost anime idol.
I don't know. Like I kept watching this, and it was like, it feels like this trailer is for people who know what this is, and I don't know anybody who knows what this is.
I've never heard of this game. That's
like,
why I thought none of them came out here.
Aren't you excited about another Code? And I'm like, no, I don't know what that is. So, I mean, it looks very nice. Like whatever engine they're using
That
is
happens
very.
to us all the time though. And like what was that? The Live Life or whatever.
Oh yeah, Live Alive. Mm-hmm.
We were like, no one's heard of this, and all of Twitter was like, oh my god, it's coming out now. I was like, wait, what's happening?
Or what was that? What's that card game that's coming out? Baten Kaitos. The Baten Kaitos remaster 1 and 2 that's coming out like next month or something.
I was like, no one's heard of this fucking thing. Isn't it exciting, guys? I'm like, what?
Yeah, coming out January of next year.
I'm not mad. I'm just more dumbfounded.
Yeah. Okay. I'm much more interested because they actually showed that Princess Peach game they teased like 2 months ago or like a month ago.
Quite a while. Actually, it was a long time ago. Actually, it was.
Was it?
Yeah, it was.
I thought it was the last one they did.
Yeah, that was quite some time ago.
Oh,
it was when they announced the Mario RPG remake was that time, and I was still writing at that point.
Oh,
so this would have been like before June.
Oh, okay.
So that would have been maybe
3 months,
either maybe June or like May or something like that. That's when that happened. And they only showed like one thing.
Yeah.
When that happened.
Whereas here they showed off a whole lot.
Yeah, and they even gave him the name and everything.
Yep.
This game looks great, by the way.
It looks really interesting.
I heard something that I didn't think about until afterwards, which is it's like if a Balan Wonderland was a good game.
Oh. Yeah, so it looks like it starts out Peach is at like an opera and like it gets taken over by some meanies, the sour grapes, and she gets this little like ribbon, so it's Mario Odyssey but with a ribbon. Also, you don't get to do other stuff. So she can attack with the ribbon, but then also it looks like you're going to get some like you said, Balan Wonderland or Kirby style like outfit changes, then you get a different power. You got sword fight. We see in this trailer, we see Sword Fighter Peach and Detective Peach and Culinary Peach and
Was the karate one shown off here?
Yes, and also the karate one. Those 4. The weird thing is, it seems like it's like a combination of 2D and 3D. Yeah, and it also doesn't seem like it's all just like action because like the Inspector Peach part was more like looking for clues. Like you didn't see any like.
It's very interesting. Yeah.
Any action or anything there. It was more just like looking around at stuff.
Because it's all like on a stage. Like everything's like a play.
Yeah.
Like it's got that Super Mario Brothers 3 stage kind of thing going on with it.
Yeah.
But even more so because it's in like a 3D stage.
Yep.
So it looks fucking crazy as shit.
It looks very excited. It looks very interesting.
It's the first game she's had in quite some time.
This is the first one since that one where she has to use her fucking emotional woman powers to solve stuff. The DS one where she has to get like super mad or super sad or...
I don't remember if that's how that worked, but that was Super Peach or whatever, right? Super Princess Peach?
No, that's how that worked. Yeah.
I never played it, so yeah.
Like if there was a fire, then you had to click the super sad button, so she would cry fountains of tears to put out the fire.
That's so weird.
And when you wanted to get through a thing, you had to hit the super mad, where she got irrationally angry and then caught on fire, and everyone was like, "Is this really what this game is?"
That's sold well, apparently.
So. March 22nd of next year. Looks good.
Princess Peach Showtime.
Princess Peach Showtime. Let's see.
Matt's already excited because it's got her magical girl transformations.
Oh, sure. Saga Emerald Beyond is a video game.
That's something you said.
This is one of the Saga games. So like, capital S, capital G Saga.
Sure.
There's been a whole bunch of these. This is a well-beloved franchise. I think all of them have this thing where you have multiple characters, then you get to choose which ones you kind of get to go through different storylines, kind of like Live Alive.
Okay, I see it.
Because I know that I've played at least one of these before, not to conclusion, obviously. The overworld stuff here looks really weird, and I don't like the dialogue. Looks boring.
Well, it's got like a portable game system set of dialogue,
right?
Which is strange for a game like this.
I like the way the battles look. Because the character designs, I think, work a lot better when they're moving and they're in like a 3D battle. But
you know what? It kind of reminds me of a phone game.
I can see it. To me, it looks like to me, it reminds me of an old game, like something that got remade or something.
Well, yeah, that's the thing is that a lot of phone games tend to look like that nowadays, at least when they're considered new, because there's no like facial animations for when they're doing their fights and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's outside of like blinking and stuff.
Yeah. I wish I could say more. I don't really know that much about the Saga games. So.
I don't either. So
it's coming out next year. Tomb Raider 1, 2, and 3 remastered coming to Switch.
This is all Aspire is doing nowadays.
Is this new or is this just ported?
The problem is I don't remember if it was or not. All I know is that T-Rex looks really funny.
It's really weird because they did this work to clean it up, but it still looks very primitive because it's still made out of a bunch of like boxes and shit.
Well, because they still have to move the same way, so you can't really do too many things to them.
It's one of those things where they have a button you can press to go between the old version and the new version, so you can't change the geometry.
Yeah, exactly. Which is like the main reason they can't change too much. It's like the way Halo 1 and 2's remake was.
Yeah,
where everything was still exactly the same for the most part.
I have absolutely no interest in playing old Tomb Raider games.
Because the Crash Bandicoot remake didn't have that ability because everything was so different.
Right.
So, yeah.
February 14th. Let's see. Detective Pikachu returns. This is exactly the same information that was in the last thing.
The fucking trombone game.
Trombone Champ is going to be on the Switch. Actually, there's a reason to maybe even get it on the Switch, even if you already have it, and that is that it's got Joy-Con motion controls, so you could do it with the Joy-Con, or you could just use your hand and the IR sensor to basically just push back and forth between the different stuff. And
the chance for you trombone guys to impress people.
Yep. And not just that, but you can do 4-player multiplayer.
I dropped out of trombone learning, so I don't know how to do it anymore.
4-player simultaneous Switch stuff at the same time. I'm glad that Trombone Champ is and it's like, and it's out later today. Good.
Which is really fun.
Yes, good.
It's a shame that you won't be able to get all those weird fucking mods people made over the years.
Yes. That's really like the second stage of Trombone Champ.
Yeah, that Sephiroth one cracks me up every time.
Let's see. Oh, right. This is Battle Crush. Who is this by? NCSoft. This is like a MOBA / battle royale. But it's like all historical figures. So it's like Medusa and like King Arthur and stuff, and they show like the ground kind of it looks like it plays like a MOBA, but then it looks like it's got the same kind of like crushing everyone together a little bit at a time thing that you see from a battle royale.
Because the whole world's built on like tiles. Yeah. So it's like slowly coming down.
Yeah.
It's like a turn of the fire.
Good Lord. Sweet. Fancy Dog and Cleese, do I not have any interest in either of those genres? So,
I don't really care enough about it because it doesn't look fun enough for me to be like, this looks like it'll be a good time.
Yep.
I'm sure it'll be a great like streamer time thing or something.
War Tales is coming out. This was a big deal on Steam. This was a big thing that people liked.
Okay.
Gritty medieval tactical combat thing where you put together like a mercenary company of dirty fucking villagers with wooden shields and go out and hammer on other dirty villagers. I looked at this thing a bunch of times because it kept showing up on like the Steam bestseller list, and I was like, nope, not interested. But
you love medieval peasants. Everyone knows that.
No, I don't. That's
why you play the Dark Souls, so you can murder them.
Those aren't peasants. Those are zombies. Those are hollows.
They used to be peasants.
Yeah, but if they still looked like peasants, then I would have no interest in killing them unless they had like a dog head and a weird sword arm or something like that.
That's fair.
Anyway, yeah, if by all accounts, everything I've heard, everything I know, War Tales is a good game. It's just like I have no interest in this genre whatsoever. Like, it looks slow and ponderous, and like it would very much appeal to a very specific person.
100%.
So if that's your jam, go get it. Go get it. Contra's back.
Yeah, the Konami teamed up with WayForward.
Yeah, Operation Galuga, which is like, it's some kind of like remake of the first one, but then also other stuff as well.
Yeah, it's mostly a first one remake, but they've added new they've added new weapons and some new enemy types.
Because like this level with the speeder bikes, that's not Contra 1. I know Contra 1, that's no Contra 1.
No. Yeah, it's just very much a remake. They're the guy. WayForward is a company that I tend to trust with damn near everything.
Yeah.
So I'll give them a shot because they make a lot of really great stuff.
Yeah, I like WayForward a lot, but then I look at this trailer and I'm like, God damn, it's so fucking ugly. Like, it's I don't know, it's very like chunky and I don't know. It's something about it doesn't super duper appeal to me, but considering how much of a garbage fire the last Contra game was, if you could at least get to like neutral, I would appreciate that. We can get this franchise out of the gutter and back into some amount of standing.
Yeah, WayForward has a good chance of being like, this is at least a decent time.
Yeah. Same with the Ninja Turtles game, right? The last one?
No, that was a different one. But they were known for stuff like Double Dragon Neon and the Shantae stuff. as well as.
Are you sure? I thought that they teamed up with. That place that made all that other stuff to do.
As far as I know, it was a different place called like something.
Girls Zero, River City Girls. So they did River City Girls.
I think it was Tribute or something. Was the one.
I thought that they teamed up on that.
They teamed up with a different place, but it wasn't Way Forward.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I forgot who it was, but I know what you're talking about.
I guess I got just River City Girls 2 and like Dawn of the Monsters, and like there were so many Lunark, so many games that I liked that were kind of similar.
Yeah, there's a lot of beat 'em ups that Way Forward has made that are just fantastic.
Okay. We're going to go ahead and fast forward because I want to talk about like 3 games on here in depth. Overlord? Unicorn Overlord. I saw this trailer and I was like, Michael, those sprites, those look a lot like Vanillaware sprites. Maybe somebody's just doing they're doing a fancy Vanillaware type of thing. And then it came to the end and it was like, no, this is Vanillaware's new game. And I'm just like, yay. Because do you remember how fucking long it took them to make 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim?
It took them a long time.
That thing was in development for a long time. This is like some kind of weird tactics strategy, real-time strategy, but then like you've got these like little unit layouts that look more like a turn-based strategy, but then you've got these like cutscenes that look more like fucking Odin Sphere or like there's everything going on in here. Look, that lady looks like Karlach from Baldur's Gate. I knew I was watching this and I knew I was 90% sure that it was Vanillaware when I saw there's a screen with food. It was like a table with food, and I was like, wait a minute, I recognize that fucking food because those dudes love drawing food.
They really do.
I'm very, very happy because one of the things there you go, a bunch of kiwi and melon platter and some fresh bread, and it's like a hamburger with cheese in the middle,
cheese-filled steak hache.
Yep.
The shit looks good.
This whole thing looks good. I love it. I really like I think they've got a really, really good design aesthetic, and the only thing that stops me from playing their games sometimes is if they're in a genre that I'm not a big fan of.
That and length. They tend to be fairly long.
Yeah. I know that what was the one with the booby wizard? Booby sorceress?
I don't remember the name.
Dungeon Crown? Dragon's Crown? Okay. Dragon's Crown? Dragon's Crown.
I'm going to go with that.
That was like, oh yeah, play the whole game. Okay, and then you get to the end, you got to go back and replay everything a second time, and it's like, oh shit.
No.
But yeah, I'm super fucking excited for this because Square has completely dropped the ball when it comes to tactical anything. They put out that one game. What was that one that came out this year where you played the little 3 guys, and it was kind of like all tilt shifted so that it looked like it was like
I know what you're talking about, but I can't remember what it was called.
That's a good sign.
I assumed it was Square. Problem is, Square's been fucking up constantly, but I'm not sure if you have that story or not.
I do. March 8th is when Unicorn Overlord is coming out of next year, so looking forward to it. Really, really looking forward to it. Luigi's Mansion 2. We got some more information about that. Yep.
I'm pretty excited about this because I really like. I played this when it came out on the 3DS. And what made it different was that it was more level based.
Okay.
Because the first one and the third one are all about like walking around, either the mansion in the first one and the hotel in the third one. Where this one was about like, I'm gonna go to this one specific place, catch the ghosts, get what I need, and then you're like, okay, now they're at this other place, and so yeah, everything is more level based, so it's much shorter. And it was much more different, and everything was designed to work better with a 3DS. So that's why it's got like a meter more than it did like the way it used to catch. So I'm interested because I really like the game a lot, and I feel like not enough people played it.
Okay.
So I'm hoping people will play it. The only thing that bums me out is the first one now is the only one that's not going to be on the Switch.
Oh, true.
So,
Wait, what was the first one? Was that a GameCube game?
Yes, and then they made their own remaster for it for the 3DS, which I do have.
There's a very good chance that with the Pikmin stuff, there's a very good chance that you might see
I'm hoping so.
Remastered it, or at least just released so that you can buy it at some point.
I hope so because I would like to have all 3 of them on one thing. That at least something I can play on my TV again.
Everybody knows that Jeff's the biggest Luigi hater in the world, so
I fucking hate stuff, but I love.
it's not for
it
me.
made me love Luigi more because it's like Luigi's a Ghostbuster now. I'm like, oh my god,
Why?
Say no more. I'm excited as hell. I don't know what caused them to do that, but God bless you guys.
Yep. Anyway, next summer. Let's see. We got this really weird thing where they talked about the Nintendo Museum.
Yeah, that caught me off guard. Where did they say it was at?
I don't remember.
He mentions where, but I can't remember what it was.
Yeah.
But they're like very excited because they're going to sell a bunch of shit.
Kyoto.
They're going to sell a bunch of stuff that's like over the across time and that they've done over the years.
Set to finish construction by March of next year. It does kind of make me. I've been trying to like figure out a way to go to Japan with Matt. It does kind of make me think that like I should just wait until next year so that I can go to the Nintendo Museum because it'll be open.
And then the Mario Land.
Yeah. Even though
first the museum, then the bitches.
I believe that the Florida Mario Land is already open, right?
Is it?
Like I think it opened like earlier this year or
but
something.
now you can tower over them like your Super Mario.
California. No, it's because Universal Studios. It'd be in California.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, but if you go to Japan, you'll feel like Super Mario because you're taller than everybody. Like, look at all these toads.
No. Ganondorf and Zelda amiibos are coming November 3rd from Tears of the Kingdom. And Noah and Mio from Xenoblade Chronicles 3. You know, everyone's favorite characters that they all definitely know.
I'll have to preface that joke is a joke before anybody comes at me.
Yeah. January 19th of 2024. And then also, I didn't realize that Sora was not yet an amiibo.
No, he's the last of the amiibos for the Smash Brothers Ultimate stuff. So once he's out, that's it.
That's it.
And that's
every Smash.
They'll re-release them all at one point. Who knows? Because some of them are super difficult to find now.
They should put them all out in one big fucking box.
That thing would be really expensive, and I would buy it.
Yeah.
I never got the Cloud one. The Cloud one was the one I was going to get, and I never did. Because what I tried doing is I tried getting every one of somebody who I use like as one of my mains, and I'm missing like a handful of them.
Okay,
but I got the ones I really wanted.
Kind of mad that they've never that they haven't kept producing these things until they're like not collector's items anymore.
Well, they didn't want to do what they did with Disney Infinity, where they made too many of them, and that's what caused that to shut down.
Well, sure, but there's a middle ground between like, I really wish I could have these, but they don't exist in the world unless I'm willing to pay a stupid amount of money. Well, and like, we can't sell these for love or money or anything.
I got you two of them, and one of them is one of the rarer ones too.
Yeah,
which is the Dark Souls one.
Oh, the Solaire?
Yeah, the Solaire. They didn't make a lot of those.
Oh, okay.
So he became much rarer. I got you that Solid Snake one too. I don't know if it's here somewhere.
Which I left him in the box.
Yeah. I don't know if that one's rare or not.
Hey, Michael, F-Zero is back. It's back, baby.
Somebody made this joke apparently like I want to say in 2019 or something when the Mario one came out.
Okay, I've never experienced more of a deflation than like F-Zero, and I'm like, yeah, all right, you guys gonna remaster F-Zero? I can deal with that. Like F-Zero 99, F-Zero Battle Royale game. I was like, oh, never mind. Yeah. I don't care about that.
Yeah, when the
terrible.
Mario one was announced, somebody put out a tweet because I found this out because he retweeted recently.
Yeah,
where he's like, "We'll do F-Zero 99 now," and then he retweeted. He's like, "I was fucking joking."
Yeah, I don't like this. I don't know.
I both love and hate this because it makes me happy that they've remembered F-Zero as a thing.
Yeah,
but I hope that it just makes me hopeful that maybe they'll do something with F-Zero after this.
That is not.
That's not just this.
Yeah.
But it does make me laugh because people have already made memes out of it. Because somebody took a screenshot where it was like a shit ton of cars and they're like, I-35 at 3 o'clock.
Right. Yeah, because it's basically, for anybody who doesn't actually know what we're talking about, it's basically like you're playing on an F-Zero track with 99 other people, and like you're trying to not explode, which you will do if you run into walls or other characters, and then you're also trying to get first place. So it's basically Battle Royale, but a race where you've got 99 people on an F-Zero track.
This is the third of this type, right?
It started with Tetris, I believe.
Well, no, it's the fourth then. So it was Tetris, Mario, Pac-Man, and this.
I mean, Pac-Man was the first one. It was
one of the
Pac-Man,
two.
Tetris, Mario, and then this.
Yeah, and all of those are shut down at this point. The Mario one was only for a limited time as well. And that one was weird because it wasn't 99.
Yeah.
That one was, what, 30 or something like that?
I don't remember. This is like...
It was like a weird number.
This is some degenerate shit right here. This is some just like, what if, hey, do you want to play F-Zero? Yeah. With 98 other people? No. Why would I want to do that? I want to whoop fucking Pico's ass on single player until I'm good at the game. I don't want to play with other people online. Gross.
I regret getting rid of my GameCube copy because that is so hard to find now too.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
I was the last one they made was a GameCube one. That's crazy.
I was thinking it was like, no, it'd be great is if they remastered all of them and then put them out like kind of like they've been doing with Mario Kart, right? Yeah. They made a new engine. They used the Mario Kart engine, put out all the F-Zero games.
The only thing you can do now is to use the Blue Falcon in the Mario Kart game.
Oh yeah,
that's the closest you get right now. And if you have the amiibo for Captain Falcon, you can make a me outfit for it.
Yeah, right. Bandletail.
It's a League of Legends thing, Jeff.
It is a League of Legends thing.
You know how much you love the League of Legends?
I keep trying to, but they're no good.
No, they're mostly terrible.
I don't really, not that they're terrible. They're just not good enough to pry me off of like the cream of the crop, which is, you know.
Well, I was talking about the fans of League of Legends. Those people were crazy. Yeah, that's not a joke, by the way. Those people were fucking crazy.
I hadn't heard about this one. This is like a farm, like a what's that game? Harvest, not Harvest Moon. The one that people Stardew Valley.
Isn't that just Harvest Moon?
Sort of. But it seems kind of, it's got like growing stuff and then going out. It looks like a very gentle adventure. Like I don't see.
It's not like any of the other ones we've messed with so far.
Yeah. There's like a point where you see a character walk up to a bunch of garbage on the ground and then it's like a button for clean. And I'm like, oh, it's one of those games. Okay. And they're like, make food, grow food and cook dinners for all the other people that are in your village. And I'm like, no, I don't want to. Fuck those guys.
It's really weird what League of Legends has the fact that there's so many weird games spinoffs off of it.
Yeah.
As well as was League of Legends the thing that did the Netflix show, or what am I thinking?
Yep, that's Arcane. Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, Arcane is the League of Legends as well.
Yeah, more people like the stuff outside of League of Legends than the actual League of Legends itself.
Well, it's smart because at a certain point they realized that at some point League of Legends is not going to make them like stupid amounts of money.
Sure.
So they just started shoveling money into other people's mouths going, do something. We don't even care what it is. I don't care what it is. Just make games and movies and shows that are not the thing that people won't play.
Yeah, because the main issue is that League of Legends is such a toxic fan base. This is the same with a lot of other games like it, that no one wants to play them. So they're not getting new audiences that way.
Yep.
So they needed to get another way.
Yep. And then they also showed a brief trailer for Song of Nunu. This one is one that was announced at the same time they announced Mage Breaker and the side-scrolling one that Tessa and I played.
Oh, yeah.
This is like a little kid that rides around on top of a abominable snowman-looking motherfucker like a big Yeti.
It's very charming.
And they're having adventures and learning about themselves and growing and changing and blah, 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 blah. I don't know. I mean, I think this one is being made by somebody like very specific. Is it, let's see. Who is making this? I thought it was, Tequila Works is making this one.
Oh, okay. They made Guilt.
Yeah, they made Guilt. And
which is a really good game.
Yep. And the Sexy Brutale.
That I didn't know about.
Oh yeah, that Invisible Hours game. I forgot about that. So yeah, I mean, they make a pretty good game. Who knows? Maybe it'll be good
stuff.
Yeah, I liked Guild. Didn't think I would. Ended up loving it. So
really good.
Boom, boom, boom.
I'm very glad that it got escaped the Google,
the Stadia stuff. Yeah, that's coming November 1st. So not too long away. WarioWare. It's funny because I was moderately excited. I've become less excited about WarioWare over time.
I have too, to be honest.
As game after game that I don't like comes out. And this one is like smooth moves. right? So it's like you literally have to put your body into a specific position and then do a specific action in order to complete the little mini game. But like, I can't do that on the dojo. So
it's a fun party game idea kind of thing.
Yeah.
But like, well, maybe we can do it instead of Just Dance this year. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Thing. But my only issue is that like now they've changed Wario's voice, so now I got to get used to a whole new fucking Wario.
You don't like Wario's voice anymore?
Well, it's because it's no longer sounds the way it used to. Like the guys like the way they sounds more like somebody on YouTube's trying to do a really bad Wario impression.
Okay, but
it's like it's whatever whoever does it now's first time. So I might have to give them a pass. So we'll see how it goes.
Okay. And yeah, all the crazy Wario people are back, and looks like it's just more WarioWare smooth moves. It's just smooth moves for the Switch, y'all. As near as I can tell, there's nothing that much different than that. So,
but WarioWare could be a fun time with a group of people.
Sure, November 3rd, it's coming out. I don't think I've disconnected my Joy-Cons from my Switch in like 4 years. So.
It's been a very long time.
I forgot all about Eiyuden Chronicle until this trailer. So
I did too, actually.
We got a trailer for Eiyuden Chronicle 100. Was it called 100 Heroes? Yeah. You remember 2 years ago that prequel like adventure thing that had like the kangaroo guy came out?
Yeah,
and it was good.
Wasn't there like a beat 'em up 1-2 or something?
I think that's what that was. I think
that's what that was.
Very limited RPG. But this is made by the guy that made okay, help me out here. What's that JRPG where you get 1 million guys on your team?
I have no idea.
Oh fuck. Okay.
I don't play enough JRPGs anymore to know what that is.
Oh god. Okay, hold on. It's very famous. It's on the tip of my tongue actually. Suikoden. So
I would never have gotten that.
it's the guy that made Suikoden that had this same thing where you've got like lots and lots and lots of characters, and you're building like an actual army, but you like personally recruit each individual character.
Okay,
and
I don't know if that's what that was about, to be honest.
Yeah, very well beloved. PS2, I think the last one's on the PS2, and so this was kickstarted, and then because it got kickstarted so hard, that was why they made that little prequel game that came out a few years ago.
Oh, okay.
It was like a bonus. It was a backer bonus thing.
That's fun.
I don't love the way this looks with the kind of 2D sprites and the 3D backgrounds. It's not my favorite.
That seems to be like something that happens a lot lately.
Yeah,
with RPGs. Like people seem to think that's like a big thing, but it's probably because it's easier for them to do with their backgrounds than making sprite versions of them.
Yes, I kind of just wish that they would 3D map them and then just take pictures of them and put them through a pixelate filter in Photoshop.
Well, the thing is, nowadays you could probably pull off that much easier with AI stuff.
Yeah.
And before you guys at me, AI can be useful.
Yep. And that is coming out April 23rd of next year. But yeah, go look it up. It's been a long time since we've heard of this game, but it looks like it's
entirely
close to done. Yeah. Like it looks very finished. So
looks like they might need to just polish some stuff here and there because there's a lot of slowdown in the footage.
Yeah. Yep. Let's see. This was a very weird one to me, Michael. Eastward has DLC called Eastward Octopia. Huh. Do you remember Eastward?
Yeah, we played that at one point, right?
With the weird guy and the little kid, right?
Yeah,
and
we only played the first 40 minutes or something like that?
Yeah, we only played one episode of it.
I liked what we saw though.
And this is like the two of them are in like a Stardew Valley. They're like in a remote place. They've got these like weird Ren and Stimpy looking like balloon cows and balloon pigs. But it's crazy. They're out in the sticks, having adventures, going on farms, creating drug labs.
I'm guessing this is way after because when we played, they were in a cave and shit.
Well, they talk specifically in here about how you can just launch the DLC without playing through the game, so you don't have to beat the game or anything to do that. So,
good for them.
Yep. I think that was out. I think it was like one of those, and it's out today or very close to. Let's see, holiday of this year.
All right, so maybe like December or something.
We got a trailer for Wargroove 2 from Chucklefish.
Okay.
Not much here. There's a new rat faction.
Okay, well that's interesting.
A bunch of little rats.
The Fahari.
Yeah. One of the other things I found was kind of interesting is so the first one had like a map editor, right? This one, I don't know if this was in the other version of the game as well, but it has a I might have skipped past it already. It has a cutscene editor. So when you're making like custom campaigns, you can literally build little cutscenes into them when certain things happen.
I love that.
And then put it online. So yeah, that's kind of crazy, right?
That's really cool, actually. It's very much just medieval Advance Wars.
Yeah,
which is not a bad thing.
Yeah, not at all. The first, I think when we were playing it, the first part is like a pirate themed.
I think so.
But this,
the most exciting announcement.
You guys can all take your Marios and your weirdness and shove them. Dave the fucking Diver is going to be on the Switch. Actually, is on the Switch, I believe. Right? Was this one?
Was that one of the out nows?
Was that one of the out nows? October 26th.
So pretty soon, though.
The
demo is out
today.
At this point.
Yes.
Was the out now thing.
Yes. Dave Diver, perfect game to play on the Switch. I expect all of you motherfuckers who do not have PCs to go, I'm looking directly into your eyes, Michael.
Don't look at me.
Dave the Diver is coming out. You'll be done with Mortal Kombat and Spider-Man by that point.
By October, what was it?
26th. Don't you try to tell me it's going to take you more than 48 hours to beat Spider-Man, because I know you're never going to sleep until it's done.
I literally took time off, so... That'll be the entire weekend. No one talked to me that entire fucking weekend.
Yeah. And so you think you're going to need something to cool down with once you're done with all that hot spider action, right? So
I feel like I will laugh really hard if somebody's like, it's like if you... Like somebody messaged me like, well, this once in a lifetime thing's happening. I'm like, motherfucker, I told you I'm playing Spider-Man.
Michael, the lingerie models are all at my house, and they keep saying, Michael. Like, now
they brought all this pizza and shit, and they're like, we won't leave until he gets here. And I'm like, well, I'm not coming.
Bad news, ladies.
I don't want to be like Wooly, who fucking... Do you know the story?
What?
So when Marvel vs. Capcom 3 came out, this guy is now a famous YouTuber, but back at this point, he wasn't. The guy named Wooly, he's on YouTube forever now, because somebody recorded him at the launch of Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
Yeah.
And he's like, I have skipped the threesome to be here for Marvel vs. Capcom 3. And he gets mad whenever anybody brings it up to him.
Yeah.
Because he is now on record as that having happened.
Okay. Wowzers.
So nobody at me that I'll probably be that dude.
I expect everybody listening to this also to play Dave the Diver. Every single person should play Dave the Diver.
Everybody should skip their threesomes to play Dave the Diver.
No, I would go that far. That's not what I'm saying. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is getting some more booster shit. Daisy, Diddy Kong, Funky Kong, bunch of new tracks. This is the last one. I think they finally just put everything into this game.
Yeah, this is the very last one. So now everyone who was in Mario Kart Wii is playable.
Yeah, Pauline is there for Mario Kart Tour.
Yeah, which I think is a good thing, because Pauline's great. She's a great character.
Yep.
I wish she was in more things.
Let's see. Among Us has a new map called the Fungal, like a fungus jungle.
I know they were working on this for a while.
Yep. That's Among Us. The end.
They're one of the people upset about another news story we'll talk about.
Yes, that's why I'm hurrying, because I have more news stories to get to. Then they did a recap, and then we finished up with Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door is getting a full remaster and re-release.
I think that was a GameCube game as well.
Yes, I believe they said that in the presentation.
It's one of the more. I think it's the one that everybody considers the best one.
Because did it start on the 64?
Yeah, it started on the 64.
And then the last one everybody hated.
Yes.
The Origami King or whatever.
Yeah, no one, as far as I know, no one liked the last one they made. But this one apparently is the one that's like the best one.
Yeah.
And then they had like a crossover with Mario and Luigi at one point on the 3DS.
Okay. Yeah, I've never played this before, but it has very good score. Oh, wait, is that the thing where he says where that? Yeah. Okay. Why is that? Why is this Yoshi calling Mario and this big titty ghost cloud Gonzalez? He says, "Okay, Gonzalez, let's get out there and do some damage."
I don't know, because I never played it either.
Is he calling Mario Gonzalez? Does he think his name is Mario Gonzalez?
Maybe that is his name.
Is Mario's last name Gonzalez?
The movie says it's Mario. I like the idea that his last name, he's an Italian man named Gonzalez.
Right.
Is much funnier to me.
Right. Puts the mustache in a whole new light.
Yeah. Turns out he was Spanish this whole time.
Yeah. I don't have, I've heard nothing but good stuff about this, by the time I was made aware of its kind of like classic status, I didn't have my GameCube, and I wasn't about to go and try to figure out how to play it.
The problem was when I had a GameCube, I had no money, and so it became one of those issues where I had both a GameCube and a PS2.
Yeah,
I was like, what am I gonna get? Metal Gear Solid 2 or Paper Mario, whatever, Thousand Door Odyssey.
right.
And my brother is like, Metal Gear Solid in the background. So of course we're getting Metal Gear Solid kind of thing. The only time I would ever get something that I was like, I'm definitely gonna get this instead, was because I was by myself at that point.
Yeah.
'Cause a lot of it came down to like, what would all the kids like at the same time?
Sure.
Then it came down to like, what would I like at that exact moment? So a lot of my games at that point were bought for that reason. That's why I had Need for Speed for the GameCube, even though it was my fucking system and I never fucking touched it.
This trailer looks very charming. It looks like a very charming Paper Mario trailer. So yeah, that was it. Kind of an interesting bag. Like, there's some good stuff. There's definitely some good stuff in there.
There's a lot of great stuff.
I feel like they're starting to stack up the stuff from next year, right? Like, we're seeing a lot of stuff for early next year.
It's just as much as a commercial for you should buy a Switch so you can get ready for this shit.
Right. Yeah. I think I'm probably most excited for that Vanillaware game more than anything else.
Not excited for F-099, Jeff? Whoa.
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
You're going to master that and beat everybody.
Nope. Princess Peach Showtime.
There's a lot of good stuff in that. A lot of it's Mario related for me.
Yeah.
And there's some good stuff.
And Dave the Diver.
Dave the Diver, yeah.
Dave the Diver.
I'm not joking about that too. Dave the Diver was really cool.
I love Dave the Diver. I played all the way through that thing.
It's a very popular game right now.
Great. Fucking great. Guys, can't wait to see you play it. All right. Well, get ready for the fastest run through of Sony because we're out of time for part one, and there's too much news to spend too much time talking about all of the dumb horseshit. And I will, dumb horseshit that Sony announced. There was not a lot to it. It was a lot of like stuff. Either you say it and you go cool, or we already knew that was a thing. Like, I'm not talking about foam stars, okay? We'll be back in a minute, but I'm not talking about foam stars. That game could suck my dick. And we're back. Holy shit. We still got a lot left to go.
Yes.
State of Play, September 14th. Let's go.
This got announced randomly, too, by the way.
This is like the day before we did this. We started out with Baby Steps, the game that was announced at Devolver Digital from Bennett Foddy.
The guy with this gigantic ass that the internet would not stop talking about.
Yep, with this weird man baby that gets like dumped into this dimension, and then you basically have to like walk him around and stuff. I don't know. There's a lot more to say. I don't. Did you watch this at all?
No, I didn't get a chance to because when they aired this, or not aired, but streamed it, I was on my way here.
Right.
So I've only seen what you've shown me since I got here.
Okay.
Kind of thing.
There's a lot more muttering in this than we saw in the Devolver Digital.
Oh, okay.
And there's a lot of him talking to himself. I was like, okay. There's a rock. Okay. I'm gonna do it. Oh God. I like. There's a lot more of that. There's kind of a part where he's trying to get up to this place. And this guy, this like mountain climber guy, comes down who knows him, and he's like, oh yeah, I'm just out on this walk. I don't know how I'm gonna get forward. He's like, well, just use your grappling hook. And then after he leaves, like, where the fuck would I have a grappling hook? I'm fucking over here. Where was I supposed to be storing a grappling hook? You piece of shit.
Yeah, because he's wearing like long johns. Yeah, it's just like, where am I gonna do any of that stuff?
Yeah, it's pretty funny. I am really looking forward to this. So,
that's a great idea, and I'm very excited to try this at all, because I love Devolver's like weird like things that they find people make and then publish out.
Yep.
So it's pretty exciting.
So that's coming in the summer of next year. This person comes out to talk about how like the name of this was like the Indian third party development thing. I count like that was one of what I count to be 2 indie games that were in this conference. This is mostly third party like AAA. Because like the first thing they announce after that is Roblox, which is coming to the PlayStation in October.
What a strange thing to come. What? Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't realize Roblox was doing that well now. Holy shit.
Oh, Roblox has like ridiculous amounts of money and users.
I just assumed they were going to stay on PC, but I guess not.
I think they're valued at something like $34 billion or something like that.
Which is crazy because the first time they ever popped up, everyone was like, "That's stupid. Why would anyone touch that?"
Right.
And now it's like, oh, and that's all kids do now.
No, but it's for the kids.
Yeah.
Let's see. From there, we saw the Ghostbusters PSVR 2 game.
Yeah.
Which just looks a lot like your standard VR game, but with Ghostbuster accoutrements.
Yeah, they like tried to making all the equipment like look in a way that would work for the way their VR stuff is, because none of it's like, you know, the way it looks in the movie for the most. Even the packs don't look even close to the way they do in the movies.
Right.
So they're very much their own thing. What it takes place in San Francisco, as far as I know, as well.
Yeah.
But they like have customization options and stuff here. But like it looks like a decent time because I know this is coming out on the Meta Quest as well. So I'm debating whether or not, you know, playing it on that or just buying a VR for this one.
PSVR 2.
But I don't know. We'll see how it plays.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, is anybody still playing the actual online
sometimes
multiplayer Ghostbusters game?
They come up with updates still. Like the Halloween ones, they're doing more. They're adding more story to it soon.
Right.
So I'll go back in for that.
We got a trailer for Resident Evil 4 VR, Resident Evil 4 Remake VR. This is exactly what you would think it is. If
it's even as close as to good as the other VR version of it, this will be a really good time.
Yep.
Because it's fucking terrifying when you do it in VR because everybody's like up in your face.
Yeah.
And when you have to reload, you have to manually reload things.
Right.
So it's like much more like terrifying. Because when you do it, you're like, oh, I just hit a button to reload. Where there you're like, I'm fucking trying to put these bullets in because the chainsaw guy's right in my face and I'm just gonna cock the shotgun as fast as I can.
Yeah.
So yeah. It's really cool.
I will say that I haven't purchased a PSVR 2 yet, but like this one is this is about as close as it would get to getting me to get one.
Which is fair. That's the issue with the PSVR 2 is there's not enough on it.
That and
to justify, because it's what, $500?
Something like
like that?
That and then Arizona Sunshine 2. Those are like the two games that I would actually maybe consider getting one for. So let's see. They also announced for Resident Evil 4 Separate Ways, which I think everybody knew was kind of probably on the way. For anybody who doesn't know, Separate Ways was the Ada Wong DLC that shows kind of her side of the Resident Evil 4 story.
People were hopeful that it would happen because people weren't 100% certain for a bit.
Yeah.
But it was, like you said, everybody was. It was pretty much a given that that's what they would probably do with it.
That's to see Wesker, who we don't actually see in that game. So
no, yeah, I think he's only in the side story thing.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it looks really good. That the Resident Evil 4 remake, I liked it quite a bit. So I will definitely be getting this. Also, this comes out next week.
Really?
This comes out on the 21st of September. I was like, holy shit. Okay.
That's crazy.
So we're definitely going to be doing that on RageSelect at some point. I mean, whether it's a Patreon or whatever.
Maybe you'll save it for the Asylum.
We were going to play all the way through Squirrel Stapler, but like I decided
I really want to know how Squirrel I forgot to look it up. I forgot to look that up. If you guys watched that Patreon, like I was heavily invested in that fucking thing.
It won't come out until Monday, so if you're listening to this on Sunday, you won't know what we're talking about. But tomorrow you'll know all about Squirrel Stapler if you're at patreon.com/RageSelect. Let's see. The Avatar game, Ubisoft's Avatar game.
I don't give a fuck about this so much.
Does anybody care about this?
Shit.
I don't.
I'm legitimately curious as to how well this will do.
I mean, like, the thing is that, like, you know, the engine and the graphics and everything look fine. And actually, when they show the gameplay of kind of like running around and blowing stuff up and riding animals and stuff, that's fine. But I fucking hate the Avatar. I hate Pandora. Yeah. I'm like the opposite of those people that got PTSD when they left the theater and they wanted to live in Pandora.
I don't understand how those people exist, by the way.
I'm like, I don't want to live. I don't want to go to Pandora. I don't want to look at Pandora. I don't want to talk about Pandora.
No. Yeah, the thing is, like, because the movies did so well, it's like, how much will that translate into a gaming audience?
Yeah.
And we thought that kind of with Harry Potter, but Harry Potter did really well.
It did.
So this one is one of those ones where it legitimately can go either way.
It also just looks a lot like Far Cry. It looks an awful lot like Far Cry.
Well, it is a Ubisoft game.
With the bow and arrow and the, like, hunting down the guys and stuff.
It probably is on top of a Far Cry engine of some kind.
Probably. Yeah, like I said, I mean, nothing about the actual gameplay that they're showing. It all looks like good. I just hate Pandora. So
it just looks fine. Like it looks like a Far Cry and Avatar Pandora. I almost said Avatar World Pandora.
Yeah, fuck that.
I only know Pandora because you said it.
December 7th of this year, for God's sake.
We'll see how that plays out.
We got a trailer for Ghost Runner 2, which we already know exists. It's just a lot of like super fast ghost running, parkour, hitting stuff. And a release date of October 26th. I don't know if we knew that already, but there's also a demo out for that on the PlayStation.
Oh, that's fun.
Let's see. After that, we got a really weird trailer. I'm going to skip through it. There are red, white, and blue like themed PlayStations.
Oh, an actual blue one this time.
They call them the Deep Earth Collection, even though they're red, white, and blue. This should be called like the America Collection.
Yeah, that is straight up just America colors.
Well, okay. Red, blue, silver. And silver. Silver. This one is silver. Do you want a silver game console that you're going to put your sticky fucking chocolate covered fingers all over? I'm not saying that to like you. I'm just saying that to everybody.
Well, the thing is, some people might because it's close to like original PlayStation colors. So I could see somebody doing that. But yeah, the cobalt blue one came out at the wrong time, guys.
Yeah.
Because now I have Spider-Man themed fucking PS5 shit. I no longer need the blue. Your position has been filled. I'm sorry, guys. You came too late. Yeah.
We saw they had an actual gameplay demo for Helldivers 2. It looks an awful lot like Helldivers, but from a behind-the-back third-person perspective. I like the fact that I forgot about this, but when you call stuff down in Helldivers, you can see you have to put a little, like, code in. That was in the first game, but they totally have that. It's kind of an interesting mechanic where there's a guy with like a rocket launcher, and then you see this guy with the rocket pack full of rockets has to stand behind him and put the rockets in.
That's really cool
in order to shoot them. The chatter is pretty good. Somebody in the Discord pointed this out, that the chatter between people is like less like a bunch of gamers trying to be professional military guys. Like there's one point where this lady's like, "Oh, holy shit, what's that? Oh, you killed me. You killed me." So, but yeah, this looks very Helldivers like.
Yeah, just in a more 3D environment.
Yep. So
it also makes that fucking Starship Troopers game look stupid.
Oh. I ended up having fun about that right before we lost all the recording for it. So.
Yeah, we had a decent time with it. It's just this. It makes this game just makes it that much more obvious that this is like a better, developed team. I feel.
Yep. Also, all of the characters look like stormtroopers to me. Like various different types of stormtroopers.
Which is that's kind of the point on this one. Yeah, because it's the whole like
Super Earth.
It's got that satire stuff going on with it. The way Starship Troopers should have had.
Yeah. So February 8th. Let's see. From there, we got a big old chunk of Spider-Man 2. Michael,
it looks so exciting, guys.
Yep.
And they accidentally revealed another villain who's definitely going to be in there. Because there's a sequence where they show off this moment where they're like, yeah, there's these cues in the world that you see. I'm like, that is a Mysterio eye.
Oh,
that is fucking Mysterio. You can't fucking pretend that's not, you son of a bitch.
Yeah,
kind of thing. And so I'm very excited. And the models on all of the characters looks even better than I anticipated.
What was the thing where like now you could just see the floating icons over the city of where you're going to go do that? Wasn't it the first one?
No,
it's been a long time since I played
it wasn't, because you
go to the map.
You set up something. You're like, okay, I need to go here, and then you could see it kind of in the distance,
right?
But they decided, they're like, oh, there's like lenses in there, or they added like specific VR typey things so they can put up like icons so you can just see them instead of having to go to the map to look where it is.
Also, was there a map on the screen in the first one?
Yeah, but it was like in the corner, but it was never like. And like you said, you could set up waypoints, but it was always the one waypoint, so you knew where to go.
Because I noticed this down here.
Yeah, that was always there.
Oh, okay, all right.
You could use that to find like where enemies are, so you'd see like the red dots.
Okay.
And you could also use it to find like some of the backpack stuff, because you could maybe see like a dot for it.
It looks like there's also a fair amount of like you can get the different suits, but that you can also color code the suits. There's a bunch of different colors for each suit. So
yeah, they showed off like that you could do 4 different types or whatever with it.
Yeah,
it's very interesting. I'm very excited because there's a lot of stuff that I will want to use, and some of the suits I think are.
It's like a Prowler suit over there.
Yeah, and I know some of them they said are only in the game, which they did the last time too. But
I don't like this reverse Spider-Man. This blue middle and red side Spider-Man. He's freaking me out. This Bizarro Spider-Man over here.
I think that's an actual thing too. If I remember at one point, there's a character that looks like that.
Makes me want to be. Stop it. Also, I don't know what this outfit that's like a Batman.
That's the
outfit.
That's called the Arachnite. There's a storyline where a bunch of heroes got mixed together. So it's Moon Knight Spider-Man.
Oh, okay.
It's one of the pre-order bonuses.
Oh, okay.
It was called Arachnite, and it was like, what if Peter Parker was Moon Knight, basically?
All right, fair enough. Yeah, it looks real good. I mean, Spider-Man looks real good. Like, doesn't look bad. Looks real good.
It looks great. I'm excited. My PlayStation's ready. My collector's edition's pre-ordered. I'm very excited.
Taking all the time off work.
I'm excited for the 19 inches of Venom, as that Twitter said. So we'll see how this plays out.
And don't talk to Michael. Don't talk to Michael.
Talk to me.
What day is that?
It's October 20th.
No, but what day is that?
It's a Friday. And I asked for the Friday off and the Monday after.
Okay.
So I definitely know I can.
I'll make sure not
do
to
all that in 4 days.
Ask Michael to do anything.
Yeah.
This is really weird. Tales of Arise 2 years later is getting a DLC.
That's fucking crazy, by the way. That makes no sense.
There's a game with the guy that had the thing on his face, and like I liked it, and it's like one of the only Tales games I've ever played, but I liked it because it got going really quick.
Yeah.
And I remember going back. I played some of it when Final Fantasy 16 came out to be like, is this game as good as I remember? And then I pulled it up and I was like, oh yeah, right. You get to play the game right away. And also there's still a big story, but you just get to play the game right away.
Which is good. Good on them.
But yeah, there's some story DLC coming for Tales of Arise.
Better late than never, as they say.
Yeah, it's just so weird that it took so long. Like Beyond the Dawn coming November of this year. Okay.
Good for them.
We got the release date for Honkai Star Rail for the PS5.
Oh yeah, I forgot that was still coming out.
Yeah, it's on the PC, but it's not on the PS5. So that is coming October 11th. Just go watch Michael and I play Honkai Star Rail if you want to know more about Honkai Star Rail.
That's a fun time. I have a friend who loves it. He's obsessed with it.
Foam Stars. I said I didn't care about Foam Stars. I don't care about Foam Stars.
Do you like Splatoon, but also like Champagne, I guess? Question mark?
I already said that I don't like
You'll
Splatoon
play Foam Stars
all that much, and this looks worse. So
it looks so much worse. Not even going to pretend. It looks a lot worse.
It also has a character called the Baristador, and I hate him more than I hate life itself. So,
oh my god, I kind of love the name, but he's
got like a
wasted
giant
on this game,
like coffee gun.
Yeah,
like a giant gun full of hot coffee.
It's a great name, but it's wasted on this game. Is my issue with it.
There's going to be an open beta. The full game is coming out 2024.
I can't wait for no one to play it.
Open beta from September 29th until October 1st.
This is just going to be a thing on Twitch for like maybe a hot minute, and then no one will play it again.
Yep. And then last but not least, we got a trailer for the Final Fantasy VII Part 2, Remake Part 2.
I'm excited for that still, even though the first one's battle system was still not the best.
I am irrationally angry. This trailer shows a lot of shit. It also shows Kate Sith. I'm sure I'm saying that wrong.
It's just Kate Sith as far as I know.
Yeah. It very briefly shows Vincent from the back.
Ooh.
It does not show Sid, my favorite fucking character. This is the second fucking game. It's been years and years and years, and we can't even get like they shoved Yuffie in like way before that lady was supposed to be in the game.
That's true.
And yet no Sid for you.
I think the thing that caught me off guard about Sid is that I was looking at it and they're like, he's the curmudgeon. He's also in his 30s. And I'm like, I'm sorry, what?
Right.
I'm closer to Sid's age now than I am anybody else's age.
You're older than Sid in the game.
That's fucking crazy to me.
Yeah.
And he's the one who's like, man, I don't give a shit about life anymore. And I'm like, you know what, Sid? I get it now.
Well, that's Japan, Michael. If you're 31 years old, you're a grandpa. That's it. You're done.
That's true. If the internet has taught me anything, that once you're in your 30s, you're dead to the society in Japan.
Apparently.
So, yeah.
Other than that, what can I say outside of this looks like a whole bunch of Final Fantasy, motherfuckers? Like, here's some Final Fantasy. There's some more Final Fantasy.
I will buy it.
Turn on the trailer, and you could just take this clip where I say, "Look, it's more Final Fantasy," and then just repeat that, and then you're done.
We're going to the amusement park though, so I'm very. Ooh, it's Chocobo racing.
The golden saucer.
Yeah, I was a big fan of that, the whole thing. And it's cool that they added that stuff back.
Oh, yeah, and Zach's in there. But not Sid. God
That's
damn
true.
it. Everybody's here, but not Sid.
So the Zach stuff is still really interesting to me. So I'm curious. I can't say why I'm curious about it because it's a giant spoiler for the game, but I'm very curious
Also,
to see
I'm
how
pretty sure
plays
that's
out.
Emerald Weapon.
I think so.
And then there's Vincent coming out with his dumb hair.
Lucrezia.
Yeah.
There's also they're still adding all that fandom stuff that wasn't in the stuff
original
before.
Yeah.
So I'm curious because that was the thing that people were wondering, like, what's the point of having a remake like this? And it's like, because they're actually legitimately doing different things with it, and I think that's more interesting. So. And
that was the state of play. There's a bunch of suits for Spider-Man.
The tactical suits
that are fine. I don't know. Michael knows probably more than I do.
Well, a lot of them are like made only for this specific game.
Oh, okay.
So that's why they're so proud of them.
Yeah.
So they're like, we designed these specifically for this thing.
Right. That was, in my opinion, a very, I don't know, maybe I'm just being like a real salty curmudgeon, but it's just like, there wasn't a lot there. Most of what was there I knew about.
Well, that was the thing. They were very much trying to tamper people's expectations about it.
Right.
Like a lot of the stuff we've already announced. It's just you're seeing more of it.
Yeah. And the stuff that I saw more of, I mean, like...
Also, the Spider-Man thing, again, it feels like this is... You now own them.
Right.
It's now a first party.
Yeah.
Should not be here.
In the third-party showcase.
Yeah, it should not be part of your third-party showcase.
Yeah.
They're no longer third-party since you bought them.
Yep.
I'm sorry. That's the rule.
Yep.
Don't do that again.
So yeah, Nintendo wins the E3 of September.
Yes. Good for them.
Oh, well, actually, until Xbox is going to be showing some stuff during the Tokyo Game Show, which is happening September 21st. So.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize how soon that would be.
Yeah. So that is going to be going on, and it's actually interesting because we had a story a month ago where Square specifically was talking about how they want to support Microsoft a lot more. So it's possible that we might be seeing a bunch of stuff from Square get put onto Game Pass.
I feel like Square's version of that statement is give us money and we'll give you whatever you want.
Sure. So I don't know, but hey, Microsoft's got deep pockets. Maybe they got them to do something cool.
It's a good move, especially with the fact that there was the thing that Microsoft kept saying about PlayStation was that they were keeping Square games from showing up on their system.
Sure.
For a long time. So maybe Square's finally at the point where they're like, we need more money. We need to be on both things now.
Yep.
I'm hoping that's the idea. I'm hoping that they finally get their Final Fantasy VII Rebirth thing that they've been wanting for a while. So yeah.
True. Also, in October, we're going to have another Minecraft thing. Just
hooray!
Telling people about stuff. October 15th is going to be the next Minecraft thing. Well, I'm saying this because you know that when they do these Minecraft things now, they have a mob vote, right?
That's
where
true.
You literally can vote on what new mob you want in the game. So if you're a fan of Minecraft, hey, set your calendars. If you didn't already know, you probably already know. If
you went back in time and told me that Minecraft was going to be the most popular thing in the world, I would have thought you were a crazy person.
Yep, me too.
And now I still think you're a crazy person.
Yep.
But good for you guys.
All right. Speaking of crazy people, I know that somebody who are listening to this have been waiting to hear. Let's talk about Unity, baby.
Yeah, let's talk about the craziest decision of the year so far.
Yep.
Which is crazy in a year of crazy decisions that's happened this year.
Yep. So last week, Unity, the engine Unity, made the decision to put out a statement saying that as of January 1st of 2024, Unity is going to start charging the people that use their game engine a fee per installation of games that use Unity. So here's the thing. This is how it breaks down. If you are like if you're a smaller developer, if you've made $200,000, this is the revenue threshold over the last 12 months, and you've had 200,000 installs, then from that point forward, you will be paying Unity 20 cents per additional installation that occurs after that.
Yes.
If you're using Unity Pro, those numbers go up to $1 million and 1 million installs, and then you're down to then the pricing difference is weird because it's like 15 cents per install for the first 1 to 100,000, and then 0.075 cents per install from 100,000 to 500,000. 500,000 to a million is 0.03 cents per install, and a million plus is 0.02 cents per install. Right. So let's get everything out of the way before we start going into what this is, because the first thing that happened was everybody was asking, like, well, what if my game is on Game Pass? What if my game is in a Humble Bundle? What if my game is on a free Epic Game Store thing, and suddenly 7 million people got my game, but none of them paid for it, and they all install it? Are you now going to start charging me per install, like after you hit that threshold for a game that was given away for free? Okay.
Also, the initial thing was per install for every single time you installed it.
For every install.
So if I uninstalled it and then reinstalled the game, then you were going to then be charged another 20 cents.
If they were over the threshold, then they would get charged another 20 cents.
This is all initial, by the way.
Yes, this is all initial. They did clarify. They came out and they said reinstalls will not count. It'll only count for initial installs. All of those things I just said, Game Pass, subscription services, Netflix subscription service, like free giveaways, Game Pass, none of that would count towards the thing. What was the other? What else did they say?
Well, the other thing was that they even though it wasn't going to be reinstalls, it would still be initial installs on specific systems. So Jeff, say for instance, you had bought a game on your old PC and then reinstalled it on your new PC,
right?
Then they would charge 20 cents for the new PC's initial install.
Right. And then there was also a little sub-clause in there that we will be coming back to that talked about how developers could get credits that would go towards this for using Unity's specific ad serving thing. So this is more for Unity on phones.
Yes, this is a more. This is was clearly designed for mobile in mind.
Yes,
because all of those credits are specifically only for that.
Right, because there's not you don't show people ads on a fucking Steam game.
No,
like unless it's baked in. So, this what is the Fallout New Vegas? Nobody liked that.
Everyone disliked that.
Everybody disliked that.
And it also has the other part where they will remember that.
Yes. Yes. So let's talk about probably the most common scenario that people were. Well, okay. First off, I have a question that I was not able. I've got like 5 articles that I read about this, and I have a question. Maybe you know the answer. I don't know the answer. How did Unity propose to track how many people installed the game? If I
so this was kind of answered, but the problem is the answer is the kind of answer where you're like, you made that up, which is the answer where they're like, we have specific things in place that will show how many things happen, as well as our fraud thing, because there's the fraud thing too, where they're like, people can now, if they don't like a developer, they can now like fuck with it,
right? To
just like, I'm just gonna install and reinstall over and over again until you fucking now owe $300 just because I hate you, kind of thing.
By the way, I wanted to get to that scenario. Like Unity, their answer to that scenario was like, well, we have a fraud department that will take care of that. And it's like, if anybody in this world has ever dealt with a fraud department, what happens is that Unity is going to, the billing department is going to present you with a big fat fucking bill. And then if you can't pay it, you're going to be fucked. And then if you can pay it and they spend 4 months doing an investigation and then refund it to you, this is not the way.
No.
This is not the way, motherfuckers.
But it's the same answer, basically, where they're like, we have specific things on our back end that will tell us exactly when this will happen. And you're like, again, you made that up.
But okay,
because every time somebody has a question, Unity's fucking answer contradicts another answer.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why you don't know, because no one knows, because Unity doesn't seem to know.
So Unity games that are on GOG is DRM free, right?
Yeah.
That's DRM. Like, that is tracking DRM. Also,
yeah, because there's another statement that, or not a statement, it was a joke statement somebody made where like, this is technically what Unity is saying, kind of joke, you know, when it's like, one of them was like, hey, since we might retroactively do this, that technically means that you have been taking data that nobody, consented to for a very long time,
right?
Which is very much against a lot of European laws right now.
Yes.
So, like, the thing is, like, every time they say something, it sounds so much worse than anyone expected.
Let's get into that, because here's the thing. The only way for you to know whether I installed the game and then whether I continue to reinstall the game is for you to take a hardware snapshot of my PC and upload it to Unity. Like, you have to do that, because otherwise there's no way to know whether I'm reinstalling on the same thing or whether I'm installing on a new thing, right?
Yeah, because one of the
have to be able to track, and you're not making me make an account on Unity's website, right?
One of the clarifications even mentioned, like, equipment changes in a person's PC.
Yes.
So how would they know that?
Right. Unless they are capturing data from a person's PC.
Exactly.
So let's get to there's a few more things here that I just thought of, because there's so much going on in here. One, you may have heard me say this before. This is supposed to go into effect January 1st of 2024.
Yes.
So 3 months from now, this is supposed to go into effect. Two, as you mentioned, this has been explicitly said. It is retroactive to your games. So if you had a game that was made in Unity that is already in the wild and it goes over this limit, you will then be liable to Unity for this. If your entire game catalog was programmed with Unity and you did not agree to these terms in your EULA, it doesn't matter. You're fucked, because their TOS has just like a very, like, we can just do whatever the fuck we want clause in it. Not just that, but their TOS used to be on GitHub and they fucking took it down.
They took down their
They took it down.
So people can't, like, go through it to be like, aha, you can't do it because of this thing.
Right.
Because now nobody knows, or not nobody, but because we don't know if anybody even saved something like that.
Yep.
And I brought up the Among Us thing because, like, they made that entire thing with Unity.
Yep.
And they're coming out with a new DLC for it, which means more people have a reason to download the goddamn thing.
Yep. This is, so they put it out without they didn't talk about the reinstall thing. They didn't talk about the Game Pass thing. They didn't talk about this. Everybody was fucking, like, livid. They came out to try to, like, put that stuff out. Here's the thing. I think that if they wanted to do this, there might have been a way to do it, but not 3 months before the start date, like a year and a half, because there are devs right now that are in year 3 of a 5-year process that are just like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, because Unity, if they're going to change their policies that severely on a dime, I cannot trust these motherfuckers.
No.
Because, like,
it's a very distinct relationship between the developer and the people who make their engine.
Yep.
And if they can change whatever they want on a whim, there's no reason, like you said, it's a 5-year cycle. You can't trust them for 5 years.
Right.
A minimum. That's a minimum, by the way, because the whole retroactive thing means that you can't trust them forever.
Yes. Additionally, just to pile on here before we get to more specific reactions, a bunch of the bosses over at Unity sold off their stock right before this.
Like the month or two before the announcement.
Yep, before the announcement.
And you don't make an announcement like this, like on a without talking about it for longer than a month.
Oh, one of the reports, I don't remember which one, because like I said, I got like 12 tabs open here. This could have been the whole podcast right here.
Easily.
Was that somebody reported that apparently they've been revising and talking about this policy for like 4 months internally, and everybody internally is like, do not do this. Do not do this.
No.
You are going to destroy the product, because also it should be noted that the last time we heard about Unity was when John fucking Riccatello came out and said any developer that doesn't, like, monetize the shit out of their product is stupid, that they're stupid for not monetizing everything, like, to hell and back.
And he got fired from EA for being too greedy.
Yeah.
From EA.
Yeah.
Because he was the one who made that joke. Or it wasn't even a joke proposal. One of his proposals was like, what if in Call of Duty you run out of ammo and you can pay for a magazine.
Right.
$1 magazine. You're
right.
Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Right. So a lot of developers are now done.
As they should be.
Yes. There's actually, what was the one somebody put up? It was amazing. Joe Wintergreen, the guy that made Weird West and Stray Gods, put up a website called Ugh, I guess I want to move from Unity to Unreal.com that is nothing but resources on how to, like, port your shit from Unreal to Unity and why you should, or from Unity to Unreal, why you should. Apparently, I didn't know this. Apparently, if Unreal Epic has language in the EULA for developers for Unreal that says like you agree to these policies and that is for this version, and so if we change, it will be a different version, and you could choose to not agree to like version 4.7's EULA and just keep your game on 4.6.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to upgrade, right? That was like I went to that website and checked out some of the information over there. One of them was like, it's hard to reprogram stuff, and it's like it is, but it's also challenging and fun. Come on, man, you want to do it. Like,
good on you guys.
But yeah, so let's talk about some of the reactions. Innersloth came out making a thing.
I love the ending of theirs.
What's that? Just stop it. WTF?
Yeah.
Aggro Crab came out talking about that. They're making another Crab's Treasure. This is one of the things. That means another Crab's Treasure will be free to install for 25 million Game Pass subscribers. If a fraction of those users download our game, Unity could take a fee that puts an enormous dent in our income and threatens the stability of our business. That was before they announced the thing with Game Pass, but it's a good point still. Also, I really do think that Unity, like, I think that they're a lot like my dad.
Oh shit! I just remembered my favorite part of the Game Pass thing, but I'll mention it after what you're saying.
I have to explain to my dad a lot of times how psychotically fucked up the internet can get, because he doesn't know. He doesn't know the shit that 4chan will do. Like, I told him that whole story about what happened to the poor Volcano High devs and that whole thing that went on with that. And he was just like, but why? And I'm like, that's what we all said.
Yeah.
So the idea that somebody wouldn't just get a bunch of people who didn't like a game that was programmed in Unity, spin up AWS instances, put them on VPNs, install cracked versions, and then close it down, uninstall, spin up a new thing, get a new IP address, and reinstall. Of course, there are people on the internet who would do this.
100%.
Like, you've given them a weapon. Like, that is a weapon to use against devs
and who you disagree with. You want a single fraud team. I don't know how many people would be on this fraud team to investigate those types of things.
Yeah.
For a lot of devs.
Yeah.
It's not happening.
Anyway, I'm sorry. What were you thinking?
No, I just remember. I don't know if you had this part of the news story, because this was one of the clarifications that everyone's like, that's never going to happen, which is that they're like, oh, whenever your game's on Game Pass, we'll ask Microsoft for the money.
Oh, right.
And if it's on PlayStation's thing, we'll ask PlayStation for it.
Yeah.
And we'll ask everyone. And they're like, are you fucking insane?
Right.
You randomly just spun this up, and now you want them to just be like, yeah, we'll totally do that. Are you serious right now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, I just remember that, and it's maddening.
It's terrible.
Maddening.
I love Devolver. There was definitely include what edging you're using in game pitches. It's important information.
Yeah,
like,
they're never going to publish a Unity game.
Fucking Devolver. Gary from Gary's Mod wrote an article called "Unity Can Get Fucked." There's a bunch of people out there doing stuff. Slay the Spire is talking about moving their new project over to something beside that. In Exile Entertainment is talking about, like, they just use the Morgan Freeman from Dark Knight, like, well, good luck, like, about trying to, like, get fucking money for 10-year-old video games. Like, I don't even know how the fuck, like, somebody will take them to court for that, right? Like, it'll be less money to take them to court than it will be to be like, oh, look, this blew up on Twitch and now you're handing me a bill? Yeah. Also, I'm just gonna, like, I've thought about this a lot, and, like, one of the other things is not to give these guys, like, the real benefit of the doubt or anything, but, like, a fixed price, Michael, not a percentage, but 20 cents per install, right? Like, no, like 3% of, like, if it was like an additional 3% on top of what you were already paying back to them in revenue share.
If it was a sales thing, sure.
Right. Like taken out of the sale price of new customers, right? But existing customers.
And a lot of these guys, like, who are saying I'm never going to do this again, they did the math, like, with what they were given.
Right.
They're like, okay, based on what I've done currently, I would be fucked.
Yep.
End of story. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about them. Some of these are, like, almost in the $1 million range for the amount some of these guys have done, because they've done so well. And it doesn't make any sense.
This is the one that this reminds me a lot of your attitude from Josh Sawyer. This is a tweet. I love that there's a stream of updates from third parties that are all like, I talked to Unity and they clarified that 1, the bad thing is even worse. 2, the less bad thing is the same amount of bad. And 3, there's a new secret third bad thing that's the worst thing that you've heard.
Yes.
Like
100%. This year has been full of bad, weird gaming development decisions, and Unity just barreled in like a fucking bull with the worst one.
Cult of the Lamb developer, they're just like, buy it now. January 1st, we're deleting our fucking game off of storefronts.
And we're just fuck it. We're not doing this.
We're not doing this.
It's so stupid.
So, yeah. I mean, it actually makes me wonder. So then I start wondering more where it's like, right, so moving forward, are hackers just going to put out a tool that's like, block the fucking packets coming out of your Unity video game from going, like, just block the network traffic going back to Unity servers and like, eat a bag of dicks, Unity, like, fuck you.
There's no reason to ever trust Unity ever again. They laid off a friend of mine too, so I'm just as happy for them to go fuck themselves.
Also, like, okay, we have to move past this because
we have to eventually.
We have to.
But let's do the Jerry Springer Mike final thoughts kind of thing.
I believe that this is the moment. I believe that this week is the beginning of the end of Unity. Like
100%.
Because they don't appear like they think that they're going to weather the storm, but I think they've made a grave miscalculation that this is not about like something that people don't like. This is about money.
Yes.
And Epic is just standing there with a fucking picnic basket full of goodies like, this is all for you. This is all for you. Better revenue share, better tools, better documentation. Like, it works very well.
Unreal Engine has never been easier to fix or to do stuff with.
Yeah. Look at this store full of assets that you can get. Oh my God, the tutorials are everywhere. Hey, guys, maybe you just want to come over here. I wouldn't be surprised if next week we got a story where it's like
Unreal
Unreal has reduced their licensing by 20% for the next 4 months.
There's going to be a meme where they're like, I can't hold all this money.
Right. I mean, they already like cut their revenue share from what everybody else does just because they're just dying in Fortnite money. They're like, I don't even need it. I can't spend this money for fuck's sake.
One of these days, there's just going to be a news story where they're like, Unreal now or Epic now just has a thing where if you come here between 3 and 5, they'll just give you a bucket of money.
Right.
Because they have too much fucking money.
Right. So I believe that this week marks the beginning of a downward cycle that we're going to see with Unity, because the problem with this is that, again, you're making them choose between using Unity, which also, as I understand, is kind of some shit, is kind of some bullshit as an engine.
100%.
Or making more money. Like, do we use the engine that lets us make more money, or do we use Unity and potentially our game blows up because some fucking Twitch streamer played it and now we owe Unity $1 million? Like,
yeah, it would make the Among Us story going from like really cool to just like devastating,
right?
Because they had made Among Us and they were working on a sequel when they got big. Yep. They didn't even think that anyone was going to play the first one.
Yep. Your final thoughts, Michael.
My final thoughts is that this was purely designed because they were like, we are more willing to lose all of our console and PC guys, and just hope that our mobile guys will just fucking take it. That's what happened here. Yep. And I don't know if even the mobile people will take it, because like you said,
the mobile people are greedier than the fucking indie devs on the PC.
And
like
that's you're affecting their bottom line.
Yeah.
And they're not gonna. Everyone's gonna sue them. There's no way. Pokemon, the newest Pokemon was made on Unity.
Right. Pokemon Go.
The fucking Pokemon Go is literally the newest Pokemon in general.
Oh, the Switch one?
Yeah, the Switch ones were made on Unity. Yep. How are they gonna fucking get those numbers?
Well, yeah, but that
kind of thing.
That's the other thing we haven't factored into here is that, like, here in America, you can have like a weird conversation about it. I don't think Japan's gonna put up with this shit. Like,
no one's gonna.
It's not gonna put up with that shit.
Like, they have now angered Nintendo, Microsoft, and Sony, in one fell swoop. Yep. By now, because they convinced Nintendo or Game Freak to use their stuff, And now they're going to walk up to Microsoft going, give me money now.
Right.
For something they have nothing to do with.
Sending them an invoice.
Yeah. You're like, what the fuck are you talking about? You get out of my fucking office before I send out the guys that Bill Gates created to murder companies.
Or buy them.
Yeah.
Or just buy them and be like, guess what? They're for us now. We've reversed all those policies. Unity is free. Anybody could use it. We don't care. Like, just it would be less money for us to buy you than the amount that we would have to pay people to deal with this moving over time.
So stupid.
Or Epic. We're just talking about how much money Epic has. Wouldn't it be great if Epic was just like, we buy you. We buy you.
Yeah. You're now part of Unreal.
Straight to jail. Straight to jail.
Jesus Christ.
You're all fired. Unity is part of Unreal Engine. It's Unreal. It's called Unreal Light. And it's free for anybody that wants to use it. We don't give a shit. Give me $10 just so that it's legit, and then fine, you can have as many Unities as you want. I don't care.
Just asinine.
Whoa, what is that? Is that a new We Were Here game?
Apparently.
We Were Here Expeditions. Okay, now we are in trouble. All right, let's go.
Yeah, let's just start plowing through this now.
All right. This week, NVIDIA updated their GPU drivers to finally get Starfield drivers, as well as optimized drivers for Mortal Kombat, Lies of P, and a few other things. This is big because when Starfield came out, there were not optimized NVIDIA drivers, which meant that it ran worse than it would if you had drivers that literally were optimized. So it still doesn't have DLSS, but it has more optimized drivers that use some of the stuff that NVIDIA actually has baked in.
Yeah, because this is an official one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because there are like DLSS if you have mods.
Right.
You can mod that stuff, and they did in 3 days.
And this is not DLSS. This is just the drivers. Like, it's really important to have the drivers that match the game with NVIDIA. They said that on the 4000 series, you get like a 4% increase, but I think the 3000 series gets more. I installed it. Haven't had time to try it yet, but I will give it a shot.
Gotcha.
However, DLSS is coming to Starfield.
Oh.
So in an interview, they said their first, some of the first stuff that they're going to be added. This is the top community requested features that Bethesda is promising will be added via updates. This is going to tell you something. I don't think that Starfield is quite as bad as people like. I think that some people have been a little hyperbolic about like, it's terrible, but like, you see what the top thing on this bullet point list is?
Oh, God.
It's brightness and contrast controls.
What the fuck, guys?
That game, I know because my captures all are a little dark, so I tend to turn the gamma up just a little bit when we do capture. No gamma in Starfield. Like, this just wasn't an option for it.
That's fucking insane. What the hell, guys?
HDR calibration menu, FOV slider, DLSS support, 32:9 ultra-wide monitor support, and an eat button for food.
Oh, so instead of
Christ. Picking food up into your inventory, you could just eat it directly out of the environment.
Thank God on that. I was confused why that wasn't a button. I was like, why is that not here?
Yeah.
Plenty of times because you keep getting encumbered because all you have to do, you have to pick up everything and then get into your inventory and then eat it.
Yep. I think that people have forgotten the Bethesda experience, to be honest, because one of the other things that they announced this week was that Starfield is getting official mod support next year in 2024. Part of this was talking about how long it took their other games to get official mod support.
It took a while.
And it was a while for all of them. Like, I think that, let's see, Fallout 4 Creation Kit took 6 months. Skyrim was about 4 months after it came out. I believe that you should wait for a year before you play Starfield, because it's going to spend a lot of time getting updates and mods and updates and mods and mods and updates.
The thing is, this is all par for the course with them.
Yeah.
But I'm only annoyed because that's the thing is that they release stuff like this and then we're just like, it'll get fixed later, and because they were the patron saints of that for a long time. The problem is a lot of other developers are now doing that more often. I
have some stuff. Hopefully we'll be able to get to it because since we're in turbo mode, that shows that like they did put a lot of work into this game, but I just don't think it's where people think it is.
Yeah,
like it's in other places.
100%. I saw one that caught me off guard. I don't know if you have it. It's the milk thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. Yeah. That one shows how much work they put into it.
Yeah. I watched a guy spawn like 100,000 melons inside of the Constellation building.
Yeah.
And like it took a time for them to spawn in, but once they were in, the fact that he could move around with like 100,000 individual physics objects laying on the floor, getting knocked around and stuff, that's like amazing.
Super impressive.
That's amazing.
Super impressive.
Phil Spencer once again gave a non-answer about whether Elder Scrolls 6 is going to be an Xbox exclusive. So here's the quote. We look at it on a case-by-case basis with the games that we build. We want to make sure that our games are available in so many different places, on our Xbox consoles, on PC, also via cloud. These games can come to almost any web-enabled device. We are looking at millions and millions of players who have access to Starfield and other Xbox Studio games. It's really about giving players choice around how they want to play the game and build their library of games. Unless you have a PlayStation, then you can go fuck yourself.
That is technically what he's saying.
That last part was added by me, by the way.
Well, whenever he says web-enabled, he's just being like, whatever happens, we know what that can use our iCloud is basically what he's saying, but people are maybe looking at that differently.
Yeah.
He's still saying that these are not coming to PlayStation. He's just not saying it the way you think he would say it.
Yes. They have to be cagey. Microsoft has become extremely good at this shit. Like
100%.
They do not put their feet in their mouth at all. All right. So let's see. We're going to skip some stuff. No Man's Sky has got a big boost.
Okay.
And while it's kind of stupid to think that all of this happened specifically because there's like a narrative online that is like, oh, right, Starfield came out and it sucked, so everybody went and bought No Man's Sky instead. And it's like, that's reductive.
No,
that's reductive.
That's like a weird, like, because no one would do that.
Right.
Like, cause I'm not saying that, because why would they think No Man's Sky would be the better of the two kind of thing?
Yeah.
Like, I know there's a lot of updates since then, but like that doesn't make any sense. The closest thing that would make, like, the thing that would be more plausible is that people are feeling left out and they want to do they want to explore the space, but they have a PlayStation,
right?
And so that makes more sense,
especially because this was on PS Plus not too long ago, and
that makes way more sense, kind of thing.
Yep. So, but hey, good for No Man's Sky. 7 fucking years later, and people are still just like checking it out, giving it a shot.
No Man's Sky is now the game everyone thought it was going to be.
Yep,
and more actually.
True. Let's see. I'm gonna skip these two stories. Borderlands. Gearbox, not Borderlands.
Yeah.
Gearbox. Okay, so Embracer, when they were going crazy and buying game companies left and right, one of the game companies they bought was Gearbox. They have now not gotten that big $2 billion investment from the Saudi government that they thought they were going to get. So first they shut down Volition last week, and now they're looking to sell Gearbox. And if I owned Gearbox, I would be looking to sell them as well. I would be like, Pitchford won't fucking stop calling me. He wants to show me stills from the Borderlands movie. I told him, Randy, I don't want to look at the stills from the Borderlands movie. He said, dog, Kate Blanchett is in it. You got to check out Kate Blanchett. And I was like, I don't want to. And he's like, but Kevin Hart. And so,
and then when I told him no, he's like, okay. You want to see me do magic? You're like, God damn it, Randy Pitchford.
Right.
If I was anybody who was wanting to buy a Gearbox, my first question would be like, can we do it without Randy? No. I would be like, as long as I can buy it and Pitchford is just give him like 100,000 or something, tell him to fuck off. Then I will buy them.
Yeah. Apparently this says that the Gearbox deal was 1.4 billion. 1.3 billion, like high 1.3 billion.
They spent a lot of money on them, which is crazy to me.
I've never understood why Gearbox is okay.
Why they're valued that way?
I know. Well, the thing is, I judge games based on how much. I judge companies based on how much I like their video games, right? So, like, From Software is the most expensive company in the world. Obviously, you can't buy them for more than $1 trillion.
Yeah, exactly.
But like, I don't like Borderlands, so why would anybody pay more than like $700 for Gearbox? Like.
Well, yeah, because I wondered why it was that high, because I'm like, that's the only thing they put out. Because every other attempt they've made at making games has not gone well for them.
You got that Homeworld 3 is coming out. You got that that weird Viking game, the thing that's like a survival game where you're a bunch of Norse guys.
That came out, didn't it?
That came out. It was terrible. I think we played it.
We did.
I didn't think we liked it.
We hated it. We thought it was really
Tales
bad.
from the Borderlands came out. That flopped. Tales 2, that came out and flopped hard. So, yeah.
And the movie's not going well, too, apparently.
Yep. Fucking...
The writer's like, don't put my name on that shit.
Got Alan Smithied, man.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
They'll be lucky if they get close to what they paid for it.
I will give you $14 for Gearbox.
I'll give you this, then this lint in my pocket.
You know what? Embracer Group, if you hear this, I've got a PlayStation 4 that has the PT demo on it. I will trade you that for Gearbox, the company.
Yeah.
Whole company. All I really wanted was a free copy of Homeworld 3, but like I'll take the whole company if that's what
if
you're
anything,
away.
they should just try selling off chunks of their IPs from Gearbox that they have.
They probably have some kind of clause that says you have to sell the whole thing, or you
I
can't.
guess.
But
they have the Duke Nukem IP as far. I don't know. That's the issue with the Duke Nukem thing. Nobody knows who has it at this point. I will always bring it up.
X Defiant is not coming out. It was supposed to be out very recently. The strange thing is that this is something different than has happened before. X Defiant failed first party quality checks. Like
really?
This is not like, is it a good game? This is like, make sure it doesn't crash your
It just
drive
doesn't
or
work.
access stuff. They were hoping that it would. The weird thing though is that they put out literally a very transparent statement that this was happening and that they're going back in to try to spend 2 weeks working on it, and then they're going to resubmit it to see if they can get a partial cert so they can release it in October with a day one patch to get into full cert.
Yeah.
Because apparently the team that's making X Defiant is like trying to be very, very transparent with their customers.
That's really cool.
Like they're taking a lot of feedback into like what people want in the game and what they don't like, and et cetera, which is good because Ubisoft doesn't appear to know what the fuck people want or don't want.
No.
So, I mean, I could have told you that I don't think that people want X Defiant, the concept,
No,
the hero
concept is
shooter
stupid.
based in the Tom Clancy universe. So
The game itself can play great, but the concept is really dumb.
Yep. Square Enix, as you mentioned earlier, has lost close to $2 billion in value since
I'm
the release
shocked,
of
Jeff.
Final Fantasy 16.
Shocked.
How could they have put out a game that was nothing like that franchise, the beloved franchise known the world over? They were like, but it's Devil May Cry now. And yeah, it didn't apparently make them as much money as they thought it was going to.
Well, the problem is it made them some money, but the problem is everything else they did not.
Right.
Because you guys have to remember,
So many things they've put out.
they failed for like 2 years straight.
So many things. Let's see
Like
what
it's a giant list.
Square Enix 2022 games.
One of them was so bad that there was a news story about a single person playing it.
Here's the 2022 games. Some of these are like published, right? But like
Yeah.
Star Ocean, there was a new Star Ocean that came out in like November of last year.
Yeah.
I don't hear everybody talk about that. Dragon Quest Treasures. Remember we tried to play that and we were like, who is this for?
Yeah.
Harvestella. That was not bad, but it was like not good either. Valkyrie, these are all games from 2022. Valkyrie
Yeah.
Elysium, I played that. It was like, why did you do this? Geofield Chronicle, which we were trying to remember the name of earlier.
Oh yeah.
Stranger in Paradise, which is funny, but like
That one
not
did okay.
good.
Yeah.
There were 2 Voice of Cards expansions. Triangle Strategy came out in 2022.
That was okay.
The Centennial Case, that's like a Kojima game or something.
I don't even know what it is. I've never heard of it.
The Chrono Cross Radical Dreamers that was terrible. Live Alive, Tactics Ogre reboot, Babylon's Fall. Babylon's
Fall is a huge reason.
Chocobo GP.
Did not last very long.
Yep. Yeah. So, and there's more.
There's so much
Outriders.
more.
Remember they put out
They
Outriders?
put out Outriders for a lot of money.
Yeah.
They did the Avengers game.
Yep. Spent
They
a lot
did
of money on
so
that.
many things that they spent a lot of money on. And then this year,
Yep. Forspoken.
yeah, sweet Jesus.
Fiat Rhythm, Final Fantasy 16, Octopath Traveler 2. I understand Octopath Traveler 2 is very good, but I don't think anybody actually played it.
I don't think they did either.
Oh, yeah. Paranormacite, the 7 Mysteries of Hojo.
Oh,
Remember
yeah.
that? That was very well received, but of course nobody would
But
buy it.
nobody was buying it.
So,
And the problem is all their future aspects
yep.
are so tied to NFTs
Yep. Well,
that like why would anyone want to give them money?
part of the problem that has been said here is that the producers are given way too much leeway, that there's not as much like that you give Nomura Kingdom Hearts and then you let him just do whatever the fuck he wants for years and years and years, instead of having like somebody above him to go like, you got to put out a game. You got to put out a game
That's
next week,
true.
motherfucker.
That
like,
is a huge issue because every time they get a franchise that looks like it might get somewhere,
Yeah.
that producer gets all weird about it, and he's like, all of the things.
I need 12 years to make the next version of this game.
Fucking Kingdom Hearts 3 was announced for the PS3.
Yeah.
Didn't come out till way after the fact.
Yep. Oh boy. Now we're even more behind.
So ridiculous.
E3 super fucking dead. Super fucking dead.
What happened now?
ReedPop pulled out.
Oh, I heard about that part.
Like ReedPop, who was supposed to be doing the reinvigoration of E3, they're no longer part of that thing. There's not going to be an E3 next year, 100%. The LA Convention Center has been notified. ESA is still saying they're going to do something in 2025 of a new reimagined E3, and I'm like, you've been reimagining this shit for like 6 years now.
ReedPop looked so stupid last year when they were like, so what's going to happen? They're like, we swear, we have people.
Right.
We're going to do E3, guys.
Yep.
It's going to be wonderful. People you're going to love it. It's going to be better than ever. And
All
everyone
unity.
and everyone's like, I'm not coming, bro.
Yeah.
Like everyone.
Yep.
When Ubisoft said I'm not coming, you knew you had nothing.
This happened a few weeks back, but I wanted to mention it. Me, the company that made Shadow Gambit, Desperados, and Shadow Tactics, they are shutting down.
That's a shame.
But they're shutting down voluntarily. Like when you read the statement from them, they basically say like, we have been working nonstop since we put out Shadow Tactics, and we're all just tired, and we don't want to like jump into a next project and burn out and start like shedding the people that we have. And so they're doing the good guy version of this story where they're using the profits from Shadow Gambit to pay people. They have opened their email to their HR to be like, do you have a position that you need filled? We have a lot of qualified developers. Send us an email and we'll get you over to the person that is going to be working on it.
That's crazy.
They're going to be using their profits to do patches and I think some post-launch DLC for the game. But after that, they're like, then we're closing it all up and everybody's gonna go their separate ways. We're gonna give people like months to go look for a new job. We don't want to work everybody to death at the end of the day. So
that's both great and terrible at the same time.
Yep. Go buy Shadow Gambit, not Shadow Tactics. Well, or Shadow Tactics as well. Either one.
Either one's good.
Nope. Oh yeah, the iPhone apparently has like ray tracing now.
Really?
The iPhone 15 Pro was announced, and they had a big thing where they talked about running games on the iPhone, and because of like a lot of the cell phone technology that's being used for stuff like the Switch and like the Steam Deck and stuff like that, they've really beefed up the internal tech in the phones. They showed off a little showcase of different developers, like from Ubisoft and from HoYoverse and a few others, talking about showing like the new Division game running on the new iPhone 15 Pro and all this kind of built-in lighting tech that they've got, this like real-time, like rudimentary real-time ray tracing that is happening on there, and it all looks really good. But Michael, this is the big one. Capcom said that Resident Evil Village and RE4 Remake will also run on the new iPhone.
I did hear something like that. I didn't know what the fuck it was about.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Which is kind of crazy considering that we've gotten to a point now. I mean, I still think that the RE engine is kind of magical.
It's fucking pure magic. Like, I don't know what they did or who they sacrificed for it, but it's fucking great.
Yeah. But go watch this. It's really interesting. You're still not going to get me to play games on a cell phone because I sit next to a 40-inch TV and two 1440p monitors. So
like, because you're like, oh, look at how great the graphics are. But yeah, but it's on like the tiniest screen ever.
Right.
It's that like, it's the thing about movies. They're like, you shouldn't watch movies on like phones, and then so I'm expecting to see more of those memes later. Yeah, but I don't know.
But it's interesting. You go check it out. Like, I looked at the tech for it. I thought that it might have some like up-resing. Because we've got like the reports that we've heard of the Switch 2 around with the up-resing and stuff. I couldn't find anything saying that it was up-resing. It just seems like it has some kind of dedicated core for doing like ray tracing and lighting stuff on the tiny phone screen. So
that could be cool. And it probably doesn't have to work as hard on it too.
It's also got HDR. Also, they're also putting Assassin's Creed Mirage is launching like early next year on the iPhone 15.
That's fucking weird.
The whole game, not like the iPhone version, but like the actual game, Assassin's Creed Mirage. So,
you know, Apple, I give you a lot of shit for how expensive your stuff is, but you know, you're doing something.
But if you can actually play full-on HDR video games on your phone, I mean, I don't want to do that, but it's impressive.
I won't do it, but I know people who I see people doing it for, you know, like people who don't stay home that often.
Yep. Mortal Kombat 1 is probably not going to have crossplay at launch, or is definitely not going to have crossplay at launch. Will probably be added back into the game at some point next year. So,
I have no qualms with this, to be honest.
Yeah, I think
just have friends I won't be able to play it with, but they weren't as excited as I was to begin with.
Article said that Baldur's Gate. I'm looking at my thing.
Can't stop thinking about Baldur's Gate.
I beat it. I finally went back and beat it. Definitely needs a longer ending. Mortal Kombat. No, I think I lost it. It might be gone. Okay, let's do these trailers. Oh, Mortal Kombat 11 apparently didn't have, like, you couldn't play from like PC crossplay to consoles. It could just go back and forth between the two consoles, but it couldn't also play PC. So
yeah, which is fine. That's not everything is gonna. Not everybody wants to do that, to be honest.
Yep. We got our first trailer for Jean-Claude Van Damme in Mortal Kombat 1.
I love it.
Looks so good.
I love that he's wearing the Mortal Kombat 1 Johnny Cage outfit too.
Well, is that from Bloodsport? Is
yeah,
that just like that was what they wanted him to be,
one, yeah.
Right? I love the fact that they gave him voice lines. That's what I love more than anything.
I was worried it would just be a skin with his normal voice.
Yep.
It's a Jean-Claude Van Damme's voice, which is what they did with the movie skins last Mortal Kombat 11.
Oh, okay. Yeah, looks absolutely fantastic, and
it's probably just voice lines though. He probably didn't do like the screams and stuff though.
Like the nut punch stuff looks so good with Jean-Claude Van Damme.
I'm very excited.
The multi nut punch. Yeah, we also got a full-on launch trailer for Mortal Kombat 1, which I think in one place shows a little too much.
It does at one point. There's one point that I wish it hadn't shown.
Yeah. Because
it made me very excited.
We saw do you know who that guy is? The one guy, the guy from 4, that guy?
Raiko?
Is that who it is?
I think that's his name.
Raiko, something like that.
Yeah, he's like a Shao Kahn fanboy originally.
Well, yeah, the whole thing. Apparently, there was like a Mortal Kombat 4 release where they changed his ending so that he goes into a room and like puts on the Shao Kahn helmet, and that apparently, I was reading a wiki article about him, kicked off a whole fight online between people who are like, he is Shao Kahn, and people are like, no, he's not Shao Kahn. It's like, well, put the helmet on, and this is obviously the Shao Kahn origin story.
Yeah, people were wondering with that for a bit when Mortal Kombat 4 happened, but the idea is that he was just the guy who was really into Shao Kahn.
Yeah.
And he just wanted to be the new Shao Kahn.
We also see
the version of him now, he's like a protege of him.
We also saw this mode, this weird like board game mode.
Yeah,
with all the
that
weird
made
shit.
me really excited because I want to try that stuff.
Yeah, and then Shang Tsung, being in the game.
More stuff about Shang Tsung's role in the plot.
Yeah,
because he's a pre-order character right now.
Yes,
which is weird.
It is. I could see him though, like being able to play him right if you pre-order, but
well, that's what they did. Yeah. But what's weird is that like he's very clearly part of the story.
Right.
So like, why is that? Okay, sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Can't wait to play this. By the time this comes out, it'll be almost out for me and Michael. That son of a bitch will have already been playing it all weekend.
I should see where it's at now.
It's supposed to be sitting at his apartment right now.
Hopefully it is.
Oh God!
If it is, that's part of my plans.
Fuck you, PlayStation. Make the pre-order. Let me upgrade instead of having a refund. Real quick, we saw a trailer for Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 that talked a lot about the multiplayer maps. Apparently they're taking a lot of like fan favorite maps. They're trying to take the best stuff from like the Xbox 360 era of Call of Duty, and then the stuff that people liked from the new era of Call of Duty, and kind of merge them together into a lot of the classic maps.
That's a great idea. Before I know Halo tries to do stuff like that, but I've never seen Call of Duty really, because Call of Duty tends to just do one-to-one re-releases of their maps.
Right.
Like that's why Nuketown was in every fucking Call of Duty for a while.
Yeah.
Until I think not even that long ago. But
did you get your Mortal Kombat?
No.
Okay.
It still says out. It still says should arrive by 10.
It's okay to keep podcasting because Mortal Kombat isn't sitting at your house.
No, yeah. And even if it is, I might have to wait till tomorrow to play it anyways.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't really know how to judge multiplayer mounts, but sure. We also got a really brief trailer for Payday 3, introducing 2 new characters, Pearl and Joy. Hey, look, there's some lady characters in Payday now.
Put ladies into my game, Chef?
Put the ladies in the Payday game.
They don't have dicks. I don't. Why would I want to use them?
Why do they need money? What are they even going to use it for? Makeup? Yeah. Anyway, this is almost exactly identical to a previous Payday 3 trailer.
Oh, 100%. It's just
sneaking into the same warehouse.
It's just they use the new characters.
Using them ladies. So
again, guys, jokes.
Yep.
That one caught me really off guard.
Oh, if anybody heard me say that and took me seriously, like, you haven't been around here long enough.
100%. Remember, this show's for grandmothers.
Yep. Gunbrella came out. Really cool animated launch trailer. By the time this is up, you will have already seen Amanda and I play it. Seems like a pretty cool game and like 8 hours long. So
hopefully it's not made with Unity.
Also $15. Let's see. This was a really weird one. I don't think we're going to play it on RageSelect, but a game called Anonymous Code came out this week. This is the 6th game in the... They're not all sequels, but the 6th game by the guy that made Steins Gate.
Oh, okay.
So that's why it has the colon, anonymous colon, or semicolon code is like Steins semicolon gate. This one is about a bunch of teenagers who find out that they have the power to basically save and load in the real world.
Ooh.
And it's got a really cool art style. I just don't know if it would be good to... Maybe it would be good. Like, this came out like 2 days ago. I don't know if it'd be something that would be interesting to do on RageSelect, but
it might have a long like intro sequence, I guess, but I don't know.
Probably.
That's the thing about games like that. You don't know.
The thing is that it's like, if I know that going into it, Michael, I could be calm and ready. It's when when the trailer looks like Mortal Kombat, and then you start the game up, and there's like 18 pages of text that you have to go through. Where I'm like, this isn't what I was promised.
It takes us like 40 minutes to get to them to be like, now you fight.
Right?
What the fuck, dude?
Yeah. Yeah. Nocia is coming to the PlayStation and the Xbox. I don't know if you remember that. That was the game on the Switch and the PC where it's like a visual novel Among Us where you're in space.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a bunch of weirdos and you have to decide who's the imposter. It was very well regarded when it came out like 2 years ago or something like that.
Okay.
Like a year ago. But yeah, it is coming. They're going to be released on the PS4, PS5, and Xbox at some point. December 14th. Nope. This is really weird to me. BitTrip is back.
Huh.
So this is BitTrip Rerunner plus Runner Maker, which appears to be like kind of a remaster of some of the old BitTrip levels, but then also like a total level editor to make your own stuff and upload it.
Nice.
I love the runner games. I don't have any interest whatsoever in making my own runner.
No.
It also, though it does make me wonder how it works, because like everything that happens in the runner games happens like on the beat, right? Nothing happens in between beats.
No, yeah.
So
that's what made them so interesting at the time.
Yeah, there's incredibly fun to play. So I guess if you have a level editor, you're just going to be constrained. You can't just put stuff anywhere. Like you have to put stuff where it would go to the beat. Sifu got its final update. That added a bunch of new, like it added some new arenas, which were added in a few back, and then also some new outfits. I don't know if you can see, but he's wearing the white coat with the scorpion on the back from Drive.
That's kind of cool.
Apparently, I don't know if this was in the game before, but apparently the final level in the arena mode now is basically the Matrix, where there's like a bunch of guys with sunglasses on, and you play as a dude in a black trench coat.
That's fucking great.
Go punch him.
That's definitely new, probably. Like, I had no idea. Yeah.
A lot of the updates for Sifu have just been references to movies, apparently. So.
I'm cool with that. I'm glad that Sifu got as many updates as it did, because it was a very interesting series.
Yep. My Hero Academia is back in Fortnite.
I was wondering about this because I was looking at Fortnite yesterday and saw these 3 characters pop up.
We got Shoto and Red Riot and Pinky. Yeah, I mean,
Shoto has what makes me laugh is his original hero idea outfit.
It sucks.
As a second outfit?
Yeah, it sucks so bad.
It was a terrible outfit, which is why you only saw it once in the entire manga and anime. And even in the manga, it was way worse because it had that weird half face. You remember that?
Uh-huh, where he had the ice over half of his face. Yep.
It was a terrible outfit.
It was awful. It was the worst looking thing in the entire show.
it's the funniest part because everyone's like wears their hero outfits, but he only wears the UA outfit. Yeah. Because his hero outfit was fucking terrible.
It was awful.
And he never made another design for him.
Yep.
Which is really funny to me.
It was the worst. It was the worst.
Yeah, it was really bad. But it's his alternate outfit, which makes me laugh.
Do they have does Red Riot have a transformation?
As far as I know, he doesn't. I think it's just another. I think it's just the other
just the
outfit.
B-skin.
Because there wasn't like an emote for him.
Right.
There was an emote for the pickaxe for Todoroki though. So he it makes him make the ice and then the fire. Thing.
Because I know that with All Might, you could run that emote and turn into Skinny All Might and then turn back into Big All Might.
For some reason, he doesn't have one for Red Riot.
Okay.
I didn't understand why. Maybe they'll add it. I don't know.
Okay.
But they're all very expensive.
Michael, Baldur's Gate 3 had a really funny animation. I don't know if you watched this. It's called Launch Party.
No, I did not.
It's a custom animation from Mashed, which I don't know what that channel is, but apparently it's popular.
Yeah, they do a lot of weird animation stuff.
And it's Will, Asterion, Karlak, and what's her face that everybody likes, going through a portal. It's very funny. It's super comedic. It's like they go through this portal, and Karlak is like, you don't even know what's on the other side. Multiverses are all a thing now. You could be doing anything. And what's funny is that they then go through and they come into there's like a reference to Badger. They go into
20 years old now.
Go into Baldur's Gate. They come out in Baldur's Gate, and there's like all these references in the background. I love this. You'll have to tell me if you can recognize some of these other ones, but like here is the cast of Sonic, Amy, Tails, and Knuckles. I don't know who's this is over here. I don't know what that is. I don't know who that guy. I do not know who these guys are, but I get they're a reference to something.
I think they're
the blue streaks on his face. I don't know what that is.
I think that's supposed to be.
It's like Critical Role or something.
Yeah, I think it's. Yeah, I want to say it's a Critical Role thing. But I'm not sure is the issue.
I thought I'd played a game with the guy with the blue streaks on his face. I do like. So then at a certain point, it turns out that they're the early access characters, and so the final release walk in.
Oh,
and I love the reference to the girlfriend, the guy looking back at the girl. And then they taunt them for being like the old versions of their characters, and they put them into like a cage, and they get torched by a dragon. They also have the Dark Urge with just knitting this thing that says like Crush, Murder, Kill on it. It's very funny. It's very Karlak thinks that Asterion is like flattering her, and then it turns out he's just flattering himself. And they got all the voice actors to come in and do it. So
that's really cool.
It was very fun. Very fun. So, because that was for the release of the PS5 version. Let's finish up real quick. Nope, I don't care. Well, okay. PlayStation Plus this month is going to have Near Replicant.
Oh, that's October's, right?
Oh wait, no, September.
This is the premium stuff.
Yeah,
whatever.
Premium and extra tiers. It's supposed to have both 13 Sentinels and Near Replicant. I think those are both really good games, which is what I wanted to say.
Those are solid choices to add to
it. Dune Spice Wars went into full release. I
forgot that happened.
Forgot that was even a thing, but it went into 1.0 this week.
Good
so check it out. We talked about that. Demon Slayer is getting a Mario Party game.
I heard about this too.
So fucking weird. Like
what? Like you said you wanted more anime games that weren't arena fighters, Joe.
Not this. Not like this. Not like this. Yeah, it's like
you got the monkey paw wish, Jeff. You got it.
Yeah, it's like you pick your 4 guys and you go around a little Mario Party board and you do Demon Slayer mini games.
Christ.
And then like at night, like the demons come out, and so you have to fight like the horrifying demons from Demon Slayer. But
that's so weird.
During the day, they're just running around, and I don't know, man. That's not what I want. That's not what I want.
That's exactly what you wanted, Jeff. It's coming, no more arena fighters.
It's coming in 2024. Now, I said demand better games. This is not better.
Now they're all Mario Party games, Jeff.
And then here we can run through these. We talked about the milk cartons. Were you talking about this one with the city?
Yeah, there's this one, and then there's one in space that they did.
You guys should go look these up. This guy spawns 10,000 milk cartons in the city. And like, again, I have to really say that no matter what else they've done, no matter what happens in the future, the fact that their physics engine is this stable and can handle this many things without dragging to a halt is very impressive.
Yeah, because they figured out how to do console commands to get yourself into space.
Yeah.
And so they spawned like that many in space, and then they just flew through them back
because they spawn in like a row.
Yeah, and so it's really cool how like
they
all
just go
through them all
in different directions depending on how they're hit.
Nothing, never once like slows down or crashes, and it's fucking amazing.
Which is why I think that Starfield is going to be considered an exceptionally good game in about a year.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be like the way Skyrim is, where everybody's gonna talk about it for years and years afterwards.
Yeah,
but they're not gonna talk about how it was when it came out.
We didn't talk a lot about different Starfield thing. Michael, have you seen these videos where NPCs keep coming into the frame while you're talking to people. It's amazing, like, because you're just talking in the world. Like, there's been some definite things where
that did happen to me.
Yeah,
actually, I was in the Mars area talking to some guy, and some guy walked up to us and just popped up, and his face just popped up on my screen.
Yeah,
and I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ.
Also, it's worth noting that, like, there's a guy who did a whole article last week you guys can look up about, like, why do the people look wrong in Starfield?
Yeah.
It talks about how, like, you should never see that much whites of people's eyes unless they're, like, in danger. Like, even if you tilt your head back, your eyes will tilt forward. You won't just have these huge tops of the whites of your eyes coming out looking like you're
you
about
only
to
see that when somebody's eyes just widen and like, and that's like they're terrified or they're shocked by something.
Yep.
But then it's all you see of them.
They also talked about how they don't have the crinkles in the side of their eyes when they smile, and so it reads to humans as fake if somebody smiles without their eyes crinkling.
Because I was like, these faces are better, but they're still so off.
Yep.
Every time somebody talked.
Yep. So
when they're like, you want to romance this character? I'm like, I don't want to be near any of these people.
I love this one with Sam Coe where he says, I mean, this is between you and me, but like Cora wasn't exactly planned, and like Cora's right behind him, just like looking at him over his shoulder.
Your secret's safe with me, Ko. I actually kind of like Ko though. Ko's like of what I've played so far. My Ko's actually kind of nice. Yeah, but I'm never gonna go back to that game.
Michael, I know you got your Spider-Man things, but D-Brand has some Spider-Man panels for people who couldn't get their Spider-Man panels.
I want to see these.
Oh, yeah.
Well, because
the arachno plates.
Yeah, because the back ones like were not like the best ones, but
yeah,
if you could make some really cool ones, because I have friends who couldn't get them at all.
Yeah.
So like this would be a pretty fun thing.
And this one actually has the middle as well. It has like the middle sticker that you can put on.
I'm actually tempted just for the sticker.
Yeah, that goes down the middle. It also does that thing where it's got the big hole on the side, but like I don't know, it's kind of like it's like everything else. It's like Spider-Man adjacent.
Yeah,
it's not name brand Spider-Man.
And you could put like a Spider-Man sticker on it to make it that way,
right?
Or people. I saw people on Reddit actually paint their own.
You can paint
where they're
like the Spider-Man logo.
Yeah, they straight up remade the entire thing because they're like, if I'm not gonna get the plates, I'm gonna make my own. And he literally remade the entire thing.
Oh, okay.
On his like PlayStation, but it actually looked better because he made like textures and stuff out of it.
Nice.
And stuff, and so he's like, actually, this turned out to be way better.
These also aren't. Really
I also saw a bootleg version of it on eBay at one point, where they just made them, but they had like those like vents on them. And there I was like, I was legit tempted to do that, just for the vents.
The things you will do for Spider-Man.
Yes, I would do many things for Spider-Man.
And last but not least, I don't know what happened. I don't know who decided this. I hate it. I hate it so much. Okay. You know Cup Noodles, right?
Yeah.
Cup Noodles has decided to make a gaming cup noodle.
Oh my god.
The noodle itself, the cup looks like it's not like actually RGB, but it's like colored like it's RGB lit. The noodles are also caffeinated.
Oh my god.
They put caffeine in the cup noodle for you gamers, you sick gamers.
You sick fucks.
With your caffeinated cup of noodle with RGB on it. And this is an actual thing that you can actually buy. Like I found pictures of it online.
Oh my god! So. Yeah, Cup Noodle. They tend to do some fun things. Like they're specific Gundam models you can buy for cup noodles.
Yeah,
and they'll or you can buy little cup noodles that come with the model, and when you build it, it has like cup noodle like branding on the Gundam. It's crazy what they do, man.
Yeah,
but this is kind of insane. I would not want to taste that. I remember when I was in college, my friend introduced me to caffeine gum. You know,
yeah.
Caffeine gum, for people who don't know, is just gum infused with caffeine that's just black.
Yep.
And it's horrifyingly, it doesn't taste good at all. And at one point, somebody was like, if you take enough of them, you could beat breathalyzers. I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's not true, and I will not test that.
Yeah. I can't imagine eating. I don't want caffeine in my food. I want it in my drinks. I want drinks with caffeine, not food. I don't want chips that get me fucking all revved up. I want coffee.
Like I can get like maybe like one of those breakfast bar ideas maybe where they're just like a bunch of random shit and shoved into one anyways.
Yeah.
I could maybe see that being an idea, but no, not so much normal food.
Yeah. And that That was it only went 20 minutes over. I think
Just a bit.
Just a little
Just
bit.
a tad.
I'm sorry, everybody.
It might be raining again.
It might be. Michael, tell them where they can find you when you're not over here to talk with me about every fucking thing in the world.
You can find me on oneofus.net. I do a lot of movie television reviews there. I should have a review up for Haunting in Venice up by now.
Oh, there you go. All right. And you already know where to find me because if you've gotten all the way to the end of this podcast, it means you're already listening to it. But I don't know, man. Like, shit's a lot of work. If you want to go to patreon.com/RageSelect, kicking $5, come to Discord server and all that stuff. I don't know. Everybody keeps telling me I need to talk about it more. But I don't want to talk about it. I want people to just do it. Just pay me.
Yes.
Pay me for the work.
If we get enough tears, who knows what happens.
He stopped saying that we would do the Dragon Ball. He stopped saying that we would do the Dragon Ball.
We'll still do it. I'm not saying it's not one of them, but I'm saying we could convince him to do other things too.
Guys, tell you what, if you make this Patreon go over 9,000, I'll do whatever the fuck you want. Well, I'll do whatever the fuck you want from my house.
Within reason.
And you're not allowed to come here.
Unless you're coming to bring the $9,000.
Yes. And I maybe do some feet pics, but not a lot of feet pics. I'll take a picture of my feet, but I'm not going to put on like nail polish or anything weird.
For extra, he'll put a beard on it.
I'll put a tiny little beard on my big toe and draw a little face on it. There you go. That's as much as I'm willing to do, though. So give me $9,000 and I'll send you a picture of my toe. Bye!